Greetings, Earth people, or anybody who has a Wi-Fi connection that's not on Earth. I don't know. Anyway, we're back with another second channel video, and it's a bada bing and a bada boom. I forgot that there was a part 2 to the Jeffrey Epstein thing. I think I got distracted, but in light of apparently the files getting released, we're about to do the part 2. This is Ghislaine. How do you say this lady name? We're gonna find out, but I swear I be having damn near an aneurysm trying to figure out how to pronounce her name. But we're about to tap into her and see how she became this. And yeah, this is the second video on this channel. In terms of like the scheduling, I would like to do these on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I still have yet to finalize the schedule to send out to everybody, but yeah, so let's learn some more. The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the host of this show are for authentic, honest, and entertaining purposes. Unless you don't think I'm entertaining. I repeat, this is my opinion. I am not telling you how or what to think or feel, but I do encourage you to speak your mind and have conversations. Just don't do too much. Also, this video is brought to you by Sebastine's Patreon, where you can access over 1,000 videos of exclusive content. If you want to subscribe and support this amazing community, click the link in the description below, and thank you for everything. Enjoy the video.
Bada bing, bada bing.
It's nighttime, and
Okay.
Sarah can't see clearly. There's just not a lot of light. But she does know that she's standing on the edge of a cliff.
Oh, she on that
Below
island.
her are these jagged rocks with sea urchins just roaming about. The waves are crashing in. I mean, even if she jumps, she could land on a rock. She could injure herself. But if she does...
Injure? Just injure? I think that's that ain't no just injure.
doesn't injure herself, let's say she jumps and she's fine, then what? Is she really going to swim 2 miles to St. Thomas Island?
Oh.
Is this even in the right direction?
Where the
What
hell-
if the waves just push her back to the jagged rocks? But even then, knowing all of this, knowing what's waiting for her below, seems better than what's waiting for her behind.
What?
Behind Sarah is Pedophile Island.
Oh.
Where she would later state she has been held and essayed sometimes up to 3 times in a single day.
One thing I do want to say, or something I've been thinking of, is like when people say SA, and like, you know how like it's because you can't really like say certain words on these apps. Am I crazy to think that just saying the word SA kind of softens the blow of how terrifying and disgusting SA is? Maybe I'm using the wrong words or using the wrong terms, but like just hearing like how people would call it like, oh, PDF file or grape or SA is just like, if you say those things enough, your brain will think that those are the words, and that's not what we learned as we were growing up. But that could just be something I'm just thinking about. I don't think I'm tripping, but if I am, like, have y'all ever noticed that?
Sarah is hesitating. She's running through all of the options. A straight jump would probably kill her, but maybe she could slowly climb down the rocks. Just get a
Yo.
bit closer and closer to the water and then inch her way in.
That is terrifying.
She starts bending down and she hears these golf carts coming up behind her. She's got to move faster.
Golf
but then
carts?
there's another, and then the lights illuminate the entire space, and these 2 girls, 2 very young girls, a bodyguard, a model scout, and a middle-aged woman walk straight up to Sarah.
Fool, what? This has to be terrible. Obviously, it's terrifying. But the fact that, like, they're on golf carts just makes it kind of seem not cartoony, but just like, I don't know. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so
Sarah
sorry.
starts panicking, but this middle-aged woman gently walks closer to her, to the cliff, like a little cat. It's okay, honey.
What?
Come with us.
Fuck no.
Sarah looks back. I mean, she's still thinking, I could still jump. I mean, it's going to kill me, but I could still jump. But she's got no choice. She takes the woman's hand and walks back with them.
Oh no. And she walking towards her like they already knew. The fact that she walked up to her calmly is crazy and diabolical as hell. Because it's like, okay, you know what she's trying to do. So let's not make any hasty decisions or something. Oh,
To the island where there are bungalows filled with girls in Victoria's Secret lingerie and
Lord.
food that she's not even allowed to touch.
What?
She has no choice but to go back to the island, formerly known as Little St. James. But to her and hundreds of other girls, it's known as Pedal Island, Orgy Island, or just hell.
bro, this is, man, I feel so bad, bro. Like, this is crazy. And the fact that it's taken us this long to, like, get the info is insane. Let alone the redacting of these damn names and shit, but hey.
To thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support RAIN, the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization. They created and operated the National Essay Hotline, and all resources will be linked in the show notes as well as the description. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team of dedicated researchers and translators. And we would also like to thank you guys for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates of these causes. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. But there is a beautifully heartbreaking, gut-wrenching book on this case called Silence No More, and it's written by Sarah Ransom. She is a victim of Epstein and Maxwell, and just her sheer tenacity to keep fighting for justice is beyond admirable. I would highly recommend checking the book out. Virginia Giuffre is another victim that was pivotal in Epstein's second arrest. Both of them have countless interviews as well as articles where they have shared their stories through their own words. Many of the other victims have as well.
Wait a minute. Whoa. This came out a while ago. Rest in peace. I wanted to like see if like just not be wrong in that instance, because that's very, I think it's kind of tactless, and it's always good to get fact checks and stuff like that. But regardless of the fact, rest in peace to Virginia. These people are just ruining these people's lives, bro. Their psyches, their existences, all for what? For whatever type of nasty gain, like, oh.
And I would highly recommend going to listen to those first. Some victims' names, identifying information, and dialogue have all been changed for privacy. Due to all the ongoing lawsuits for legal and professional reasons, we will be using the word allegedly, even if authorities or the general public believe it is a fact. However, our intention is not to cast doubt on victims' testimonies. Any and all theories mentioned are netizen speculation only. And with that being said, I want to make it very clear that all of the details in today's episodes can be easily found online. We are not investigative journalists, and if you ever feel in any episode that something was miscommunicated, misrepresented, or have any additional information that you would like us to know, please let us know down in the comments. With that being said, the very last episode that we've uploaded was part 1 of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes. I would recommend checking that out before.
Ghislaine Maxwell. What did I say earlier? Ghislaine? Ghislaine? That sounds crazy.
Before diving into this one, we went through Jeffrey Epstein's death very briefly, his childhood, his life, how he made his money, a lot of the crimes that he committed, some of the relationships that he had. And now this episode is going to focus more on Ghislaine Maxwell because she's got a very important part to play in all of this.
Bro, I don't like how that dude is looking into the camera like that. Like all the time, he's looking into the fucking camera.
We didn't talk about her at all.
Not much at all. But she's been there the whole time. So with that being said, let's get started. Headington Hill Hall. I mean, it seems straight out of Bridgerton. It is this English-style castle-like estate in England with 51 rooms, a tennis court, swimming pool, of course, 24/7 guards posted at the main entrance, fences with barbed wire on the outer layers of the
barbed wire? Who the fuck are you trying to keep out?
property. There's video cameras drilled into tree trunks, and the lawn doubles as a helipad.
Bro, that's
the house
crazy.
is so massive. There's
that's
a full-scale parking lot in front, multiple gardens, like, you know, the tiered gardens, the multi-level gardens. I mean, this house is full of history. It was built in 1824, and it's said that Oscar Wilde, the author known for The Picture of Dorian Gray, had attended parties there. But now, the 50-room castle was owned by a single family, The Maxwells.
Oh,
The
wow.
Maxwells of Pergamon Press, one of the largest publishing houses in the UK at the time. Now, Robert Maxwell, the patriarch of the family, would later go on to own the Daily Mirror, which is one of the biggest publications in the UK with kind of a seedy reputation. They're considered more of a tabloid newspaper, but massive nonetheless.
You know, one thing that I would say I would like to, I guess, learn about is the many families that have all the many. They're not called oligarchs. Just the many families that are disgustingly wealthy. Like that's just would probably be an interesting read and also maybe a scary rabbit hole to go down. But like I never knew about this family. I never knew about Ghislaine, so we're having a I'm gonna call it a history lesson. It's just like wow, like all these people got all this money while all like damn near what is it like 99% of the world is like
And Robert Maxwell was worth $1.9 billion. The Maxwells are not just rich. They're
why his arms always up? This nigga better wore deodorant or something. Like, ain't that the second time?
filthy rich.
She was born rich.
She was
That's
born
crazy.
with a diamond spoon in her mouth.
Really?
During Christmas, there's usually this beautifully lit up 3-story tall tree inside the mansion. I mean, this is extravagance. It's opulence. If any of the Maxwell kids, Robert Maxwell had 9 of them, if any of them wanted to know when daddy's coming home, all they would do was wait for the noise of the helicopter.
He's rich motherfucker. Yo, what? I used to wait for my dad to come home. I'd see the lights come up from the car through the window. These kids waiting for the propeller sounds? That's some different type. Oh my gosh.
And he would land on the front lawn and they would run outside.
Wow.
And most Sundays, Robert Maxwell would host Sunday brunch for all the industry leaders in the media world that he felt like he wanted to spend more time with. And he would invite them over to his house for brunch. Now, technically, this invitation is optional. I mean, you can turn it down if you want.
No, you can't.
Of course you can. There's such a thing as free will.
Nah.
But it's Robert Maxwell, billionaire, controller of the media. I would hardly call it a choice.
Yeah.
Perhaps you turned down a Sunday brunch because you made other plans. The next day, your front page on Daily Mirror with an article about how your company is going down south.
Bro, God forbid that I had like the bubble guts and I couldn't make. Sorry, Stephanie.
Or allegations about how you're a horrible person to work for.
I would, man. God forbid, I'm saying it again. God forbid I had the bubble guts and had to miss the brunch because I was on the toilet shitting my brains out. And then the next day, when I'm looking at the newspaper, my face is on there because I'm a terrible person because I didn't go to this damn brunch. Nigga, I had to poop. If somebody was, actually, no, not just I had to poop, I had to shit. Imagine knowing how he allegedly would act if you didn't come to the brunch. He'd probably be mad if I blow up his bathroom like that. Shit, I gotta go to bathroom 35 so you won't notice? Like, gosh. Bro, imagine having a 50-room house and you have a party and like you don't even notice that that somebody probably stunk up your bathroom. And then like it just be marinating until you find it. That's another reason why you don't need houses that damn big.
So every single Sunday, the men in suits, they would find themselves driving up this long, windy road.
And you know that them people back then ain't eat the best. Them stomachs must have been man. It must have been a war inside them motherfucking stomachs. They did not eat they had what? OG McDonald's, the cigarettes and shit. Someone probably doing drugs. They used to eat crazy back then, bro.
Past the lush trees, through the giant property, until they finally get up to Headington Hill Hall. You know what they called him, right? They called him a brazen, impatient, rude, insufferable, intolerant scoundrel with a monstrous ego.
Okay.
That's what they called him in the press the other day.
Oh.
You know what Robert responded back?
What?
What? He said, "I plead guilty to all of it." Oh, geez. His poor wife, Betty. She's like a poor dormouse. She's so quiet, so shy. I mean, at a recent party he threw at the mansion, Robert, in front of his wife, was hitting on another married woman.
Bro,
and
what?
when that married woman said, oh, no, thank you, I'm not interested, you know what he did? I heard he turned around straight to that married woman's young daughter, maybe 20 years old, and hit on her in front of everyone.
Did men back then think that shit was fly? That's not no fly shit, bro. That is nasty. What the hell?
The Maxwell family was known
What?
to be a bit strange. Robert
I could
Maxwell
tell.
would attend galas and
You see, that's exactly why I said I would not take no shit in his house. What?
work functions with this beautiful young woman on his arm. And if you didn't know, you might think that's his wife. Billionaire
wasn't his
marries
wife,
young,
of
beautiful
course.
woman. It makes sense. She was always dressed in the most expensive gowns. I mean, he would stare at her lovingly and show her off to everyone in the room. Isn't she just beautiful? It was his 22-year-old daughter, Ghislaine Maxwell. So when all the business executives walk into the estate for Sunday brunch, they are led to the formal dining room and they find Robert seated at the head of the table.
Okay.
He looks up to greet them. They smile. They look down near his legs, and there is his daughter, 22-year-old Ghislaine Maxwell, kneeling at her father's feet under
What
the
the
table.
fuck? Wait.
Doing
whoa,
what?
whoa,
Just
whoa.
tears streaming down her face, eyes red, snot, everything. Robert Maxwell was completely ignoring her.
What the
Take a
fuck?
seat, everyone. Everyone at that lunch that day had to eat and talk to each other about business, make jokes with Robert Maxwell, how's the printing business, all the while acting like Ghislaine Maxwell, the billionaire's daughter, was not at his knees under the table sobbing.
And everybody just had to ignore that? Everybody just ignored it. That's what I'm. Everybody just ignored all of that. What is this? Why is this man so evil? What the fuck is his problem?
It was bizarre. But there would just always be two men
What?
who Ghislaine's whole life revolved
That's
around.
weird.
She did everything to please them, to make them happy, to feel loved by them. The first being her billionaire father, who would be found dead in the water near his super yacht
Oh. Okay. All right.
with suspicions on whether or not he was murdered.
I mean,
Then, her billionaire boyfriend, who would be found dead in a prison cell with suspicions on whether or not he was murdered.
okay.
Her father was the disgraced Robert Maxwell of
The
Pergamon Press,
disgraced.
and her boyfriend, the disgraced Jeffery Epstein of Powell Island. Maria was running down the hall of the massive New York City townhouse.
Oh.
Some people said this place felt haunted. I mean, the color palettes were always mainly burgundy and deep, rich, dark colors, which is beautiful.
This music.
I'm sure it all costs a fortune, but it has this suffocatingly grim, atmospheric undertone to it all.
Oh, they don't believe in Febreze, huh? It's just what the hell is happening here?
There was a taxidermied tiger in the office, a
What?
giant stuffed giraffe. There was a life-sized female doll hanging from a chandelier in one room. And in the master bathroom, there were just boobs hung up on the wall.
Just titties? What? These rich people ain't got no style. Y'all just put titties on the wall. That shit's not fly.
Not paintings, not drawings, or
Just
even
titties.
pictures. Fake breasts
What?
mounted on the wall, like suction cupped to the wall, so the owner of the mansion could take a bath and play with the breasts on the wall.
Bro,
Or
what?
frame it as artwork type of thing?
I don't even think they were framed.
Oh.
It was like a villain in a cartoon movie was given $1 billion. This is the type of house that they would build.
Bro, what?
But some rooms in the 40-plus room estate were genuinely beautiful. Some of the ceilings had elaborate murals painted on them. I mean, one was like the sky and the clouds with angels, and you look
Oh.
up and you feel like you're staring at the clouds.
So that's one room, and the other room has just breasts on the wall. See, this is why you don't need all this shit. Like,
I mean, regardless of how beautiful these rooms were,
bro.
there was just always this creepy energy about the place, and even more so now. Maria ran to her room at the end of the hallway, and she slammed the door shut, and she looked around panicked. She moved this giant
sorry.
piece of furniture up against the door to block them from coming into her room.
Oh.
She would stay there until she thought it was safe to escape. The night before,
Oh.
the wife, the lady of the house, as they call her, came to Maria in a bathrobe and asked her to follow her to the husband's room. The room that Maria's
hell
never
no.
allowed to go into. Maria worked for them. She's not a guest. She's not a friend. She's not a colleague. She's a young employee in her 20s. The woman opened the door, and there was this middle-aged man just laying in his bed. I mean, the whole energy felt obviously unprofessional, but Maria felt like she had to go with it.
The fact that, like, the amount of... One thing that, like, I think about is, like, the amount of traumatic things that have happened to people is, well, specifically women in this case, is like, insurmountable. Like, imagine the stories that people aren't telling. Like, the stories that people are telling, or these people are telling, are like, heartbreakingly just traumatic. But just to, like, think of, like, the possible number of shit that they have gone through, it's like, yo, this world is crazy. This world is sad to live in. Like, goodness gracious.
The lady tells her, rub his feet.
What?
Maria was disgusted. She didn't want to rub his feet. That's
Yeah,
not
what
what she
the
was
fuck?
hired to do. I mean, what other option does she have? Get fired? So she sits down, removes the blanket from his feet, and starts
Ugh.
rubbing it. She's trying not to be good at it so that she can leave ASAP. But the man asks her to sit in bed with him, in between him and his wife,
Come on,
partner,
bro.
whoever she was.
Come on, bro.
Maria felt like she can't say no. So she gets into the bed, into the middle, and they proceed to assault her.
What the fuck? See,
Together.
What?
Maria stated the wife was wiping her tears and rubbing on her. Eventually, Maria found the chance and the opportunity to get up, run out of the room, run down the hallway, back to her room. Maria pushed up a giant piece of furniture to the door so that they couldn't come in, and she did not sleep at all that night. The next morning, she's trying to wait for them to leave for the day or leave for work so that she can run through this massive 30,000 square foot mansion to find a
What
way
the
out.
fuck?
And she's listening. And then her phone rings.
Oh.
She puts it up to her ear. Hello? It was the wife. What do you want? Nothing. I don't want anything. I'm
Wanna go
going to
home.
the police.
Oh.
Maria called the FBI.
Oh.
She told them everything. She told them how she was hired to work at Jeffrey Epstein's mansion in New York City, where she was assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein and his wife partner. She doesn't know, but her name is Ghislaine Maxwell.
What the
She told them
fuck,
everything that she knew,
bro?
everything that had been weird since she got to New York City. She met the couple in Palm Beach. She thought they were a married couple and they just were patrons of the arts. That's what they told her. Maria's an artist. She was excited when Jeffrey offered her a job in New York City to live in his townhome full time in the city of art and help him purchase art. But when she gets there, that's not her role. Her role is to work the door. Every day, Maria would just sit by this big 15-foot tall oak door of the New York
fuck?
mansion, one of the largest private residences in the city, just like a few blocks from Central Park.
Oh, shit.
And she would sit by the door with this white notebook, and her role was to log everyone that came in and out of the house.
Really?
Everyone
Wow.
had to sign in when they visited, even if they were just delivering something. I mean, it was mind-numbing, tedious work. That was in her job description. But it also meant Maria saw everyone who came and went.
That is true.
She immediately noticed a lot of young teen girls in school uniforms coming into the house. The first time it happened, she probably thought, maybe it's a relative or something. But the second, third, fourth time, Maria's getting confused. She's getting alarmed. It's not like they have a high school kid that's inviting friends over. What business would this older couple have bringing high schoolers into their mansion? Maria gently brought it up to Ghislaine, the lady of the house, and she just told her, they're here to audition for Victoria's Secret. You know Jeffrey is very close friends with Leslie Wexner, the CEO of Limited Brands, the ones that own Victoria's Secret and Bath & Body Works. So I go and I scout for models at Central Park. They come in for an audition, and if they're lucky,
You ain't scouting no damn models. You scouting children. You liar. You just lying through your teeth. Lying through that fucking smile that every time niggas see your face on these damn photos. You just lying.
they'll be models.
The fuck?
From then on, Ghislaine would scout in front of Maria. It was just odd. Sometimes they'd be in the car and Ghislaine would be like, stop the car. The driver would park in the middle of Central Park or near private schools. Ghislaine would just hop out, run over to a high school girl in her
That's
uniform,
weird.
give her her number, and then run
What?
back to the car.
What? That's so weird.
That's insane.
That's
Just in the middle of
weird.
New York.
Yeah.
What? So the fact that like New York is like, I guess it's still deemed like the greatest city or something, and it's always shit that happens in New York. Like, imagine seeing that, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, huh? Like, you know how like sometimes you see stuff and you like do a double take, like you like are minding your business and you see something, and then you're doing like a double take. It's like, wait, what the hell did I just see? Imagine like, bro, you're seeing PDF stuff happening in real time. And I bet since it's in the middle of New York, it's like I guess everybody in New York has seen shit in New York, so and they have that culture of minding their own business. It's just like that shit can fly. Like somebody can just hop out the car, talk to a little girl, and then hop back in the car, and they just drive off, and nothing happens. Nobody's just like, well, that was odd. Like, what?
And it was ballsy. They would target private schools where these are pretty privileged kids too. Maria would later see these same girls at the house, and the whole thing, I mean, I guess it made sense,
And also, it's kind of
right?
It's also kind of interesting how people like talk about private school kids. I guess it depends on what type of private school you go to, because I went to private school and like from elementary school to through high school, and like I used to see some I don't know if it's just like I used to just see some gnarly stuff, fights, people. I can't even speak of it, but it's just interesting to hear people say like, oh, they're in private school, so they're probably privileged. And it's just like, yeah. I don't know. I guess it depends on what private school you go to. It's probably because where I grew up from. I don't know. I just,
But then Maria started seeing some red flags. She couldn't shake the feeling that they're not auditioning for Victoria's Secret. Like, the whole thing is weird.
That's that gut
Side
feeling.
note, Maria herself is really young, so she doesn't know how these things work. But Maria's thinking, first of all, the parents aren't coming with them, which is weird. Like, if you're getting scouted to be a model for some sort of career, your parents would likely come.
Exactly.
Second of all, some of the girls have braces. Maria's like, I don't remember the last time I saw a model with braces.
oh, that's good observation. That's very good observation. That's very good observation. Oh.
And third, the girls were auditioning for Victoria's Secret, so Ghislaine said. And they're way too young to even have any breasts, really. Most of them didn't even have any breasts. So she's like, this is just kind of weird. Maria's sitting at the stool in the front when one of the young schoolgirls comes running down the stairs, crying, screaming, and she just rushes out. Maria turns around and Ghislaine is standing there.
What the fuck?
Oh no, like, what happened? What's wrong?
Why is Ghislaine always there standing somewhere? Like, that's weird. Like, why is she all like she can't teleport? Or maybe she can. Shit, I don't know how these wealthy people like I don't know. I don't know this type of shit these wealthy people got. But like, bro, why is she always there? That's just what the fuck?
Wrong. She didn't get the job, that's what's wrong. Some girls are not cut out for modeling.
Girl,
Maria starts feeling really sick in that house. I mean, the way that Ghislaine talked about the girls, like they were auditioning to be models, and the way the couple treated the house staff. I mean, all the house staff were treated like useless peasants.
Damn.
Everyone that was deemed beneath the couple were subhuman. It was shocking. Sometimes
crazy.
Ghislaine would even call somebody a nobody to their face. At the entrance of this mass...
these rich people got no fucking like politeness or anything. I used to think, bro, rich folk, like they know the right spoons, and they know the difference between a salad fork and a soup spoon versus like a something type of spoon. You got etiquette classes and everything. As I'm growing up, I'm hearing these rich people be treating people like shit, like pure garbage. Like, bro, why are you talking to somebody who literally can probably poison you if you don't pay attention? Like, what? Like, and that's just like on the extreme side. The regular human side would think to be polite. Like, what the fuck? Like, what do you calling somebody a nobody when you obviously got them there for them to do something. So obviously they're not a nobody. They're somebody for the job that you got them doing. You can't talk to people like that. But these people just think that you can just talk to people like that. I don't know, bro. I don't understand it.
townhome, they
Shit.
actually have what they call the living chessboard. It's a chessboard with figurines, and each one is a staff member
What
modeled after the staff member and custom made.
the fuck?
They're all just chess pieces.
That's
So imagine you're the housekeeper of this house. You come and you're cleaning the chessboard and you're like, why does this chess piece look exactly like me?
and my dumb ass would probably think like, oh, that's cool. Hold on. Hey, this rich couple noticed me. I'm a chess piece. They turned me into a chess piece. Not knowing that there's some like sinister shit behind that.
Why does this look like the maintenance man?
Like, bro,
Why
what?
does this look
They
like the
turned-
assistant?
They made like a custom
Yes,
That's
chess
crazy.
but looks like
the
workers.
staff members. Yeah.
That's
That
of
is
the house.
so weird.
so obviously they're not nothing. I don't want to play semantics, but
It's so bizarre.
And they just like moving them around like a little
Yeah.
chess.
what the fuck?
But
Like-
only the workers, not themselves.
No, they're just pawns and they're gods of the masters of the universe.
Oh, that's so sick and twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also
wow.
the psychology of coming to work and
Yeah.
you're on a chessboard. One day, Ghislaine walked over to Maria at the front
Oh my
and she
gosh.
pointed. Look at that pinhole right next to you.
Okay.
Maria looked. I mean, it looked odd. Was it reflective or something? It looked like there was a hidden camera or something there. So Maria later asked Jeffrey about it, and he took her into a room where the entire desk was lined with screens and CCTV footage of secret cameras throughout the property. Which is
Why would they
to
tell
be
her?
expected. This is a massive mansion with artwork that cost millions of dollars. The painting alone behind Jeffrey Epstein's desk, which, side note, we went through this whole desk thing in the first episode, okay? But it's 20 feet long. This is like a dining table of a desk. It's the most massive desk people have ever seen in their lives. But behind it is a painting of a woman in a red dress, and she's pulling down one part of her dress to just expose one breast, and she's cupping it. That painting alone is $6 million.
Okay. Well, beside for that painting to just be like god awfully expensive, is I forgot that he had these artworks that were just like just so horny. Like, why would these people are obsessed with boobs and just bodies, just like women's bodies. And oh yeah, that book that had like some type of like scientific stuff.
So having a lot of security precautions is not the alarming part. It's to be expected. The alarming part is that Maria is inching closer to the screens and she sees that most of the CCTV footage is inside the house,
right.
inside the bedrooms, and even the restrooms, where you would expect full privacy. There were hidden cameras. If you were anywhere in this house, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were watching you.
See? Now we going back to the conversation about taking a shit in these expensive houses. If I ever found out that two rich people are watching me groan or something because I don't know if the food over there would be good. I don't know. And it's just like, bro, why are you watching me? Why are you watching these people taking shits or peeing or... I can understand, well, not understand, but I can see why you want to see them take a shower, you freaky frogs. But it's just like, yo, why do you want to watch people do like human stuff, like waste and stuff like that?
And the FBI did nothing about it.
Of course they
took
didn't.
her call and they said, okay, thanks, and hung up.
The fuck?
Is it because it's just private resident? They can do whatever they want?
No, Maria was SA'd.
Yeah.
She was assaulted by them.
Oh.
They're basically saying
forgot?
it's your word against a billionaire's. There's this
So no kid.
saying in New York, the only sin in New York City is not having money. And Ghislaine Maxwell was a sinner. So she invited a few acquaintances over to her New York City place to repent. Now, I'm not sure if they all knew what they were there for a tea party. I mean, they show up to the
repent.
address on time. It's this giant brownstone on the Upper East Side, and they knock on the door, and a staff member of the Maxwell New York City property ushers them in. So this is not Jeffrey Epstein's house.
Okay.
This is Ghislaine Maxwell's New York City townhouse.
Okay.
Right this way. Madam will be with you shortly.
Madam.
They're like, madam. They step into the foyer and absolutely nothing in this house is subtle. I mean, everything is in your face, but it's not tacky. It's not,
Okay,
it's
this
like
shit
eclectic.
All right, I ain't gonna lie. This look alright. This is actually some style. Okay. I like the color. Actually, no. Fuck this house. I forgot whose house this was for a second. I was looking at the colors.
It's rich, it's in your face, but it's just interesting. I mean, rich people are so weird. Take it whatever way you want, but it's not beige. The whole place is royal blue, red, and black. There's ornamental china everywhere.
wow.
There's samurai suits on the wall. It's just fascinating. They get ushered up to the living room where they find Ghislaine, surrounded by her father's photos, family photos, business awards that her dad received, and she's just weeping on the floor. No introductions, no hellos, no pleasantries.
She's crying
Ghislaine
again?
just starts allegedly screaming at them. I'm broke. I'm broke. I'm broke.
I'm Baroque.
She was wearing
What?
nothing but her undergarments dripped in expensive jewels like
All right, bro. Like, what the? What?
diamonds all over her neck, wrists, fingers, weighed down by diamonds, pearls.
Why
She
are
had a
they?
full face of makeup on.
Why are they always doing weird shit? It's just like people are coming to the house, girl. What's going on? You having a mental breakdown when you have company over? And you're just in your undies? Like I'm just like, yo, what did these people see being around these two people? What the hell?
She went from screaming to quietly but still dramatically complaining to everyone. And side note, people said that her voice was always like a low purr. I'm broke. Do you hear me? I'm broke.
I don't give a fuck.
The guests look at
Sell
her.
all your shit.
I mean, this is so over the top.
Like, what?
They're in a very clearly expensive brownstone. I mean, if you're really broke, you could probably sell that samurai armor suit downstairs. They're staring at all the diamonds just dripping from her neck and wrist. It was, even by high society standards, very out of touch. It was so abnormal.
See, this is why I couldn't be in these moments. Like, I can imagine myself here. It's just like, you're broke. Girl, get up. Get up and sell one of these things. Get the fuck up. Get up. What are you doing? Stop. Like, what are you doing? And that's probably why rich people don't like me. I don't know. Like, it's just, they probably think I don't got no class or something. They're like, get the fuck up. What are you talking about?
What's going on?
Yeah, why is she not wearing clothes?
She's
Yeah,
having
I'm like,
a
what?
moment.
A moment.
But she had all the jewelries on.
Right.
Exactly. It's
Was she faking? Was she doing theater?
like
Is this a choice she made?
It seems like it.
Okay.
It seems like she wanted to be in some sort of soap opera. But everyone there, they try to be sympathetic. Ghislaine Maxwell was a sinner. She had no money anymore.
Okay.
Because Robert Maxwell, her beloved father, was dead. Robert Maxwell was found naked, dead, floating in the ocean near his $15 million super yacht named
wow.
the Lady Ghislaine, after his favorite kid.
Really?
Ghislaine was
So Ghislaine ain't get no money when he died? That nigga ain't have no will?
his daddy's little girl, his little mascot. So it's very understandable that she was very distraught over his death. But even this was
She's
just
talking
a
about her
bit
being
much.
broke.
But wouldn't he just leave everything to her?
Oh, we're going to get into it.
All right, let's do it.
Even when Robert Maxwell was still alive, Ghislaine was incredibly proud to be his daughter, but in kind of an alarming way. She once pulled aside a family friend of theirs, and I guess they're slightly disagreeing on something, and she turned on him and she said, "Don't forget, I'm daddy's girl." And he was like, "What?" Okay. Then she would turn around to her dad and suddenly she'd be very quiet and timid and snuggle up on him, sit on his knee. She worked her dad. I mean, she knew what he wanted from her and she became this blank canvas for him.
Okay.
But now he's dead and nobody knew why.
Oh,
I mean, they
shit.
did
Oh.
and they didn't. 3 pathologists disagreed on the exact cause of death. There are theories circulating that he had a heart attack and fell into the water, then died by accidental drowning. One person close to Robert Maxwell argued that Robert always woke up in the middle of the night, butt naked. He would walk over in the dark to the edge of his yacht to pee off the side.
I see why people say eat the rich. Because they just doing shit that they don't need to be doing. Like, what the fuck?
They speculated that he probably fell and drowned. Side note,
Nigga missed so bad, he fell off the... It's the ocean or a big body of water, bro. You don't have an excuse. I mean, you don't have an excuse missing the water on the toilet. How you miss the ocean, and then you fall off and die? What the fuck? I don't think that happened. That is somebody who's egotistical. Is that I would not want that to be my last things. I died because I was peeing. Nigga, I probably peed on his foot or something. I don't know. Like what?
Robert Maxwell had a thing for urinating off of the sides of things. Allegedly, he urinated off the top of the Mirror paper headquarters, just like the roof. So a stream of pee was shooting down. I digress.
That's
but
disgusting.
Yeah.
That's
Others thought,
This is so out of this world.
yeah, like
you
what?
think that's out of this world? Robert Maxwell had known links to the British Secret Intelligence Service, as well as the Soviet KGB, as well as Israeli intelligence. He was a secret spy for like all three of them. The speculation was that he might have known something that he shouldn't have, or maybe he got cocky and he thought that with his billions of dollars, it would protect him from some of the most powerful entities in the world, and he started asking for things. Or maybe he was trying to get more for his end of the deal, whatever deal he had with them. I mean, obviously, this is purely speculation, but people argued, knowing Robert Maxwell's personality, where he is constantly described as a bombastic, egomaniacal bully.
That's a lot. That's one hell of an adjective. A bombastic, egomaniacal bully. Damn.
Nobody thought he would have gone quietly, nor would he have self-exited. So there's a lot of theories circulating that he was murdered. And some people just believe that, no, he self-exited on the Lady Ghislaine near the Canary Islands. Because a few weeks after Robert's death, Maxwell's empire caught fire and burned to the ground.
Wait, what?
Authorities discovered a $500 million hole in the pension funds of the company. He had taken from his employees' pension so that he could stay afloat.
Oh.
When Robert Maxwell died, his net worth was negative $1 billion.
Oh my God.
It's speculated that he realized this and there was no more that he could do. They were going to go under. The boat was sinking, so it's either go to jail, live in disgrace, or exit off the Lady Ghislaine. So the speculation is he chose to exit. That's what some people speculate. Ghislaine doesn't believe that he would have self-exited, but none of that mattered. The Maxwell family name was wrecked, and she could either stay in London where everybody hates her guts and try to rebuild it from the bottom up, or she could move to a whole new city and see if she could reinvent herself. That's exactly what she did. Ghislaine Maxwell came to New York City, got a place on the Upper East Side, and the obvious answer for someone like Ghislaine is to either A, get a job. I mean, you've got a degree from Oxford, one of the top 5 universities in the world. Or B, do what a lot of other high society people do.
Be a madam for Jeffrey Epstein?
Get a husband.
So she technically still has some money, but not
Yeah.
a lot.
She doesn't have billions.
Ooh.
But she's not broke.
Yeah, she has diamonds and the mansion.
She's got probably speculating tens of millions.
Dang.
But not billions. Now, the people in attendance at this very bizarre broke tea party, they thought, she's going to be fine. She's going to be fine. First of all, she's not broke. Second of all, she's just going to find another man to finance her life, and that's okay. Because Ghislaine was always the type of girl that guys liked.
Okay.
Ghislaine once threw a big dinner party at her house. And usually guys are notorious for complaining about going to these dinner parties. They don't find it fascinating. They don't find it exciting.
Man, is the food good? Shit. Got me over here looking at all these colors and these arts and stuff. Is the food good? Do y'all season your food? Like, do rich people season their food? Like these type of rich folk? I be wondering what type of shit they be eating. Or they just go to the steakhouses all day or something. I don't fucking know. Like, damn.
It's just another...
I would like, sometimes I wonder, do rich people, like, would like, say they have a craving, right? You know, sometimes I crave, like, boiled eggs. So I'll boil an egg or two. Like, who, like, do you imagine, like, the richest person, like, what's that nigga name? Elon Musk. Do you think Elon Musk would like a boiled egg? Just like, that's it? No, right? Probably not. Like, nothing is normal about these people.
dinner with more people that you have to make small talk with. It's just not that fun. But the guys, they loved Ghislaine's parties.
Why?
One of the attendees stated Ghislaine was a masterful hostess. I mean, it was like her life's calling. She knew how to cater to everybody's needs, but not in like this overly nice, I'm trying to please you or impress you way. It was almost just a level of class
Oh, she would make a killing at TGI Fridays. Being a hostess, the best hostess? Man, shit.
that exuded out of her. Just sophistication, very graceful. The tables were always beautifully arranged. The food was prepared by chefs and it was absolutely delicious. And then after
Okay.
dinner, Ghislaine disappeared.
What?
Eventually, she comes back to the dinner table holding a big stack of silk scarves. Everyone, come. We're going to play a game. She starts passing out the scarves only to men. Blindfold yourselves. The objective of the game is all the men will have their eyes covered and the women will take off all of our tops and bras and we will walk around letting the guys guess who is who based on how the breasts feel. Based on weight, cup size, they can guess.
Okay, well, how do they... okay, first of all, how would they even know these women's breasts unless they've been oogling these goodies or something? Like, what's this? Like, it's always something weird. Can we watch a TV show or something? Damn, I just ate all this fucking food. I might want to go to sleep. I don't want to play a game, bro. I don't want to play your game. But shit, it's probably... It was those type of men back then, so they probably loved this shit. They love titties, huh?
You're kidding me.
Yeah, most of the guys were like, now that's how you throw a dinner party.
Oh, gosh.
They really liked Ghislaine. They thought, what a cool girl. But the girls, they feel so uncomfortable.
I
and
bet.
in a way, betrayed. Like, what woman in their right mind would peer pressure all these
That's
other
what I'm
women
s-
into a game like this?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? Like, did she have some type of, like, I don't know, passed down idea about women or something from her dad? Like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, why? Girl, we don't want to do this. Shit. You don't want, but it's like, you can't say no. You don't want to be a party pooper. I don't fucking know. This is weird.
Yeah. And are they couples or is
No.
it all single?
No, everybody's single.
Some couples, some single.
The
People
fuck?
said Ghislaine was more like a man than a woman, and that's why men liked her.
oh, gosh.
She was sharp, witty, a night owl. Not saying that that's like male specific, okay? But that's what people were saying about her. And she only wore the most expensive clothes, like broke or not. She only wore the most expensive clothes. And she just had these very interesting ways of flirting. I don't know if you can call it flirting. Allegedly, one time at a wedding, Ghislaine was flirting with a married man. Not the groom, but a guest, married nonetheless. And she's caressing his arm, laughing at his jokes. And his wife comes up behind him like, who the hell is this lady trying to rub up on my husband? The husband turns to introduce his wife to Ghislaine, but Ghislaine looks her up and down. And what is this?
I cannot fathom someone saying that to my wife and thinking ain't nothing finna come from this. The fuck?
Ghislaine loops her arm around the husband's arm and walks him off into the crowd.
Huh?
At another party,
What?
Ghislaine walked up to a writer. I believe this is the first time they're meeting. This writer is
Imagine how the wife felt, bro. What the fuck? Like, huh? What's up with these dudes, bro? What the fuck? Y'all think y'all rock stars or something? You still gotta go home. That's the thing. You still have to go home. So you can't do all this dog and pony show bullshit in front of women that's not your wife and thinking you're not gonna be hearing from that when you go home. Like, what? No, you're gonna have to explain yourself. Why did you do this? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, who is that lady? Who is that? Or maybe, I don't know, just I don't know. What the fuck is wrong with people?
married. They're 3 minutes into a random, bland, pleasant conversation, small talk. The writer's wife is like 5 feet away. Ghislaine looks him in the eye mid-conversation, interrupts him. If you lose 10 pounds, I'll f you. Another guy dropped her off at her townhouse, and when she got out of the car, she leaned down through the window and said, if you come in and f me, I'll tell you the secrets of my...
All right, fool. All right, go ahead, bro. Like, is she... I don't. That's why all the men love her, because she's crass as fuck. Like, what, bro?
father. It was, aggressive.
If you lose 10 pounds, I'ma fuck you. or I'll let you fuck me.
It's like the concept of whatever I want, I get. It was just embedded into her DNA. It appears like she could not process any other outcome for her life. Other times, it wasn't as straightforward. She would allegedly meet a man at a high society party, lift her eyes up at them, and a lot of them describe her way of looking at people as utterly compelling. She was very charismatic.
I like her hair, but I don't like this woman. She got that. That's her smile. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
Very magnetic, almost in a cruel way. Like,
are you sure it's not them eyes?
Her DNA. It appears like she could not process any other. A lot of them describe her way of looking at people.
Like, I don't know what it is, but it's like people who got like big eyes scare me. I don't know if it's like, well, because I got big eyes, but I don't know. I would think it's because if like the pupils, like if their pupils are big and they got big eyes, I don't know why that shit scares me so much. Like her eyes kind of scare me. I don't know, bro. Like this is, I don't. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't look at that.
Utterly compelling. She was very charismatic, very magnetic, almost in a cruel way. Like, you know that she's mean, but for some reason, you want her to like you. The moment she looked at you, you would engage in 2 seconds of small talk with Ghislaine, because this is your first time meeting, right? And you'd say things like, well, I work in finance, and the main will you take me out to dinner? She would just say it so casually, like, oh, I like your pants. Kind of like that.
Oh, I know ladies like that. It is pretty cool hearing that, but like, and it's very abrupt. Very, very abrupt. Okay.
And it worked most of the time. I mean, it didn't hurt that Ghislaine is beautiful. She's really electric. You wanted to be around her because it almost made you feel good. Like, this is a really cool person. And if they enjoy spending time with me, that must mean I'm cool. That's how Ghislaine made you feel.
Really?
So one of the guys ends up taking her to dinner to this nice little restaurant. And for the first half of dinner, I mean, everything's going well. Okay. She's a great conversationalist. I mean, nothing ever felt boring with her. And then halfway through the dinner, the conversation of her dad comes up very subtly. It's not like he's like, who's your dad? Tell me about your dad. Did he die? What happened?
He was talking about him.
It just seemed casual. It would have been one remark and that's it. But it wasn't. She did not talk about anything else the whole dinner. I mean, once that conversation about her dad came up, all she talked about was how great her dad was, how incredible it was to be a part of his family, and how great he did for his businesses, how she would open up the daily newspaper and there would be an article about him because he was that prominent of a figure. By the end of the dinner, she had been so loud and people were so interested in the story of her billionaire father, the entire restaurant was quiet and listening in.
Bro, what? So she's just the main character. That's what I'm getting at.
And it was so odd.
She's just loud talking about her dead father, and everybody in the restaurant just stopped what they're doing. Or they put their steak down, put the fork down and everything, and just listened to her. Are you exaggerating, Stephanie? Like, I don't... What? I have never... what? Not even teachers get that much attention. There'll still be people talking in the back of the classroom. Shit, if I was in that restaurant, I don't give a fuck about that story. I'm finishing my food. Shit costs all this much money. I'm getting every bite of this motherfucker. And I'm biting the gristle off the steak too, nigga. Shit. I think I'm gonna pay all this money for this damn prime rib. I'm not finna eat all the meat off the bone.
The man said,
call that shit real tendernism, nigga. I don't want somebody just talking about their dad. Like, I don't want to hear this.
You know, on one hand, Ghislaine is so confident and magnetic, and she's so straightforward. She's constantly hitting on guys and making the first move. But on the other hand, you could tell that she's severely insecure.
Really?
It felt like she's got a lot going on inside. And like a nice gentleman, he probably thought maybe it's best to let her work through these things on her own before she starts dating people.
Yeah.
But to some guys, they are drawn to that insecurity. They can smell it from a mile away like blood in the water. And Jeffery Epstein was one of those guys. One day, Christina gets a call from Ghislaine. Christina's an author and kind of an acquaintance of Ghislaine. I mean, I would hardly call them friends. They're cordial. They know of each other. They run in the same circles, but that's about it. Christina gets this call out of the blue. You need to come over right now.
Why?
Christina rushes to meet up with Ghislaine at her apartment, and the minute that she walks into the door, it's like she's getting pitched. Ghislaine is confident. Her voice is strong. You're going to make a lot of money, Christina. You are going to meet everyone. Your life is about to change.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what's going on? Live with me for a year. Move in so you can learn everything about me. And you're going to help me write a book. I'm sorry, what?
What?
A book isn't entirely a bad idea. I
Like
mean,
a
Ghislaine does
memoir?
have a lot of high-profile friends. Her dad was mysteriously dead billionaire Robert Maxwell. She was also super close with members of the British royal family. While
Now that is a hat. And I'm talking about the man on the left. I've never seen a top hat in like real life and not in like a textbook.
she was studying at Oxford, she befriended Prince Andrew. She
Is that
bragged
Prince
about how
Andrew?
she made Princess Diana cry. Yeah, just another reason to hate Ghislaine.
What the fuck,
She went
bro?
to the Clintons' daughter's wedding. I mean, she was connected to all the people who ruled the world. But it's still such an odd random request. Like, they don't even know each other. Live with her for a year. Like, drop everything in Christina's life and live with Ghislaine for a year. Do people even care that much about her at this point?
I don't know.
Christina is not convinced, and I think Ghislaine could see that. So she switches her tone, and she stands in front of her big window overlooking the city, and she says, you have to write this book for me, because I want Jeffrey to marry me. I need him to see me in a more elevated light with a book written about me. He'll do it. He'll marry me if there's a book on me.
It'll be crazy if that nigga ain't read. Y'all ever do something to like I guess say like I would say when I was younger, what did I used to do? I used to like do something to like people would like notice or something. I forgot where this thought process was going to, but yeah, imagine trying to do something for somebody and they won't even acknowledge that because what you did is not even in their like mental Rolodex of things to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have been kind of some funny shit though. I didn't know she really wanted to marry that man. Also, with the Bill Clinton stuff, y'all heard that stuff about the Orange Man and Bubba in them emails. I saw something people were talking about. People asked, was like the 2016 presidential race the main chick versus the side chick, but it was just like on a national scale. The internet, bro. The internet, fool. Oh gosh.
Okay, Christina's like, now it's clicking. Christina now understands why she was called out of the blue. Everyone who even knew of Ghislaine in New York City, everyone in these circles knew that she was absolutely infatuated with Jeffrey Epstein.
Really?
The author that Ghislaine invited, she knew this. Just a few months ago, there was an incident that she thought was kind of strange. Whether it was genuine curiosity or just like a small talk sake, the author asked Ghislaine, my goodness, Ghislaine, how are you keeping yourself so thin? Ghislaine looked at her and very confidently, like this is not a raging red flag, said, Jeffrey likes his girls thin. Well, still, how do you do it? Well, did you ever see anyone in a concentration camp with any weight on them?
How does your mind think of saying something like that? Like, how do you go straight to something like that? Why would you say that? What the fuck?
No, because they didn't eat. So I call it the Nazi diet. I just don't eat.
It's like, you could have talked about something that's like not good. You know, you could talk about how like models keep themselves thin, you know, since the Victoria's Secret stuff is adjacent. Not talking about concentration camps and how does your mind even think to say something like that?
Side note, both Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein were Jewish. So that is a really bizarre. She just says, I just don't eat. The reason that Jeffrey keeps me around to begin with is that I don't make mistakes. It was such an odd conversation. What does that even mean? Are they dating? If so, what kind of mistakes are you talking about?
Yeah,
I mean,
like
it
what?
seemed like they were less of a couple and more like a team. The author remembers going to parties thrown by Ghislaine at Jeffrey Epstein's massive townhouse in Manhattan, one of, like I said, the largest private residences. She would show up and Bill Clinton would just be there.
Of course.
Whoa.
Or sometimes Prince Andrew would just be in attendance, you know? And
You know, one thing I do want to notice, I think I'm going to ask my mom or my uncles or probably them, what was it like seeing Bill Clinton play that saxophone on the Arsenio Hall show? And now, how do you feel about him after all this news is coming out? Like, it's just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what the hell?
it seemed like a two-person team. Ghislaine would be connected to all these powerful people through the Maxwell name. She would bring them to Jeffrey, into his den, literally and figuratively, and he would do business with them. So Ghislaine was more old money in that sense.
Okay.
But not really. Okay, so it's complicated. The Maxwell family were actually ridiculed often in the UK for being nouveau rich, like new money rich, just
Really?
obnoxious. They're not aristocrats. They're not royalty. They're not classy.
Yeah, they're like the patriarch literally wakes up out of his sleep, butt ass naked, butterball, honey baked ham naked, and just pees off the side of the yacht. Yeah, I don't think they're really aristocratic at all.
But they're still connected with a lot of people with titles. So compared to Jeffrey Epstein, who's just this vulgar finance dude on Wall Street, I mean, she's got connections.
At the stage that when they met, what stage of career is Jeffrey Epstein? Like he's already made it at that
No,
point?
he's
Oh, really?
kind of on his way. Like, I would say he's made it, but probably not to the status he will be through Ghislaine.
So Ghislaine's genuinely just attracted by this person rather than his status.
Oh, no, he has money.
Uh,
No
Okay.
status, but he's got money.
okay.
So she likes the fact that he's rich
Yeah.
and
Oh.
she just genuinely really attracted to him.
Yeah.
So attracted that she'll become a madam with all these little girls and children, and just fucking spawn and everywhere in the house to where everybody in this house has a story of her just standing there. That's what I call male-centeredness to the utmost degree. What the fuck?
So he still has that New York City apartment by the time that Ghislaine is inviting all these people over.
The biggest.
The
Damn.
biggest private
Apartment.
residence
Okay,
in
so
New York
he's
City.
very, very wealthy already.
Yeah. But I don't think that he was at his peak in terms of finances
Oh,
when
please.
they first met.
Oh, okay.
I think through Ghislaine, he ends up making a lot more money. Now, Epstein was really not a likable person, even in Ghislaine's circles. I mean, to give you context, Epstein had some powerful friends. So if you remember from part one, he was friends with like Leslie Wexner, the billionaire behind Limited Brands that owns Victoria's Secret. But Epstein's circle is still, like I said, limited to this finance world. And even there, Epstein was just a bit too much. Like either you hate him for being so vulgar and bizarre, or you like him because you convince yourself, wow, this rich guy doesn't take himself too seriously. Ghislaine, she's a Maxwell. She went to Oxford University. She's very close friends with Prince Andrew. I mean, he threw her a birthday party in England once.
Oh,
She's
cool.
close friends with the Clintons. It's just a different league. Side note, allegedly, whenever Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew were at a party together, people said it was the most boring party in the world because it seemed like they had, allegedly, this competition was who could look the most disinterested and bored.
What?
Yeah, so the two of them, they would just be sulking in their corner. They looked like they were too intellectual, too high class to be entertained by anything. We're at a party together. People said it was the most birthday party in England once. She's close friends with the Clintons. It's just a different league. Side note, allegedly, whenever Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew were at a party together, people said it was the most boring party in the world because it seemed like they had, allegedly, this competition was who could look the most disinterested and bored.
Bro, these niggas not fly, bro. This is like, why are you here? Go home, watch a game or something. Like, why are we at this party trying to look the coolest? Like, bro, that shit's not fly, bro. The
What?
fuck?
Yeah, so the two of them, they would just be sulking in their corner. They looked like they were too intellectual, too high class to be entertained by anything. Another source that was at one of these dinner parties said Prince Andrew thought it was absolutely hilarious that people were so fascinated by Kate Middleton's wedding. So this was like right before they were going to get married. And he thought it was he was in hoots because everybody was like, what is she going to wear? Oh my gosh, who's coming? Who's invited? And he just thought, look at these peasants. Hee hee, what? This is so funny.
He said that shit in that top hat. I could just imagine him saying that in a fucking top hat. Like, bro, what?
Ghislaine's friends thought Jeffrey Epstein was weird.
Oh.
I mean, firstly, his New York City apartment was strange design.
Yeah.
But also, at these dinner parties, if they were mid-conversation and Jeffrey Epstein found himself getting bored, he would just interrupt everybody and scream, and what does that have to do with pussy? That was it.
He's interrupting everybody's conversation. Nigga, you want some pussy or something? Just go get some pussy. Like, what the fuck?
His favorite saying.
And what does that have to do with pussy? Like, what does... This nigga is worse than Quagmire. I swear. What
Ghislaine
the
would
fuck?
be the only one sincerely laughing. Everyone was just
That shit's
glancing
not
at each other and
funny.
awkwardly chuckling because what the hell is that?
It's so crazy these two found each other.
Exactly. Like,
They're
what?
so weird in their own way already. I
match
can
made
see
in hell.
Right, I already can see how this is gonna like go
Escalate.
Yeah, exactly.
Ghislaine's friends would ask her, wait, so what does he do for work? Oh, he's the money manager. But he only takes on clients with at least $1 billion to manage.
Okay.
So now, Christina, back in the apartment, is no longer interested in writing Ghislaine's book. She's not going to waste a year of her life writing a book for Ghislaine just so Ghislaine could get proposed to. Like, what kind of deal is that?
Bro,
But Ghislaine keeps begging. Jeffrey has been medically diagnosed by the best doctors in the world. He needs 3 orgasms a day. Sometimes he has an erection that lasts 24 hours.
Oh, his PP work? He needs to nut 3 times a day? I thought this was a book about you. Why are we talking about Jeffrey Epstein's erection or his 24-hour erection? He probably had like some fucking blue chew or had a honey pack or some shit. I don't like. Why are you telling me this? I don't care. I don't care, bro. How much you want me to do this book? You know what? I honestly feel like I probably would. Like I would be irritated, but like fascinated at the same time. Just like trying to figure out what the hell is going to come out of this woman's mouth next. Because what are you talking about? Like what?
No way.
Christina,
He needs to nut 3 times a day. Okay.
is like, excuse me?
And
Yeah,
what does
like-
that have to do with this?
And what does that have to do with the book?
Exactly. Christina felt like, am I on drugs? Is
Oh
she
my
on
gosh.
drugs? And like, what chapter of a book would that even go into?
The opener.
The author's note. I mean, Ghislaine's like, I cannot keep up with his needs, so I drive around. I look for girls that are his type, then I offer them a deal. Do you want to give a rich man a massage for a few $100? Christina's like, what are you talking about? What I do in Palm Beach is I get in my car, I drive to the trailer parks. I look for Jeffrey's type, and when I see what I'm looking for, I approach them. I
Trailer parks? How far is a trailer park from the middle of Manhattan?
bring them to the house. The way Ghislaine described what she does for Jeffrey
Oh, it's not trailer parks. It's fucking schools. Oh, never mind. Okay.
is interesting. It's so casual yet so professional. Casual in the sense that Ghislaine talks about picking up these girls like she's picking up takeout for her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Just debating on which meal he's craving and then going to pick it up.
So crazy
But at the
DoorDash
same
order.
time, you can tell that Ghislaine takes it very seriously. It's like a career, a profession. Apparently, she would even leave parties early to go pick up girls for Jeffrey.
Nigga.
So at this point, are they dating or are they
Nobody
romantic?
knows. So
Nobody knows.
it's speculated that they started off briefly romantic. And then they were no longer romantic, became best friends and codependent on each other for various things. Jeffrey Epstein was probably dependent on Ghislaine Maxwell for her connections. And I think that he liked being associated with her. She was really good at hosting. She was doing all the wifely duties without him having a wife.
I
She's
see.
hosting these parties for these business partners
I
and
see,
getting
I
him
see,
more
okay.
clients for whatever he's doing.
And she's just obsessed with him.
She's obsessed with him and he's paying her a lot of money. We don't know how much. So it's almost like ex-girlfriend, employee, best friend. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It just it kind of reminds me of Trixie Tang, and what's his name, Timmy from Fairly Odd Parents. Remember how like she That's what I'm getting at. But like, Timmy Turner is Jeffrey fucking Epstein, and Trixie Tang is Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't. That's probably a bad analogy, but I just can't think of that like type of dynamic. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's no definitive timeline or a strong point of when it transitions. It's very odd. But it does seem like she's obsessed with him. Whether she wants to marry him for the money or for the love, it's unclear. Christina looks at Ghislaine. Wait, but who are these girls? What are you even talking about right now? And Ghislaine whips around and says, they are nothing. They are trash.
What?
Christina was taken aback. I mean, Ghislaine was clearly desperate for Epstein. I mean, enough to go and find girls for him to sleep with 3 times a day. And she still wants to marry him. But not only that, she's talking about these women like they're subhuman. They're
Right.
nothing but slots to fill in Jeffrey's busy schedule. Christina walked out of that apartment that day disgusted. She had no idea that Ghislaine Maxwell was talking about children. 14-year-old girls.
Bro,
One of the
what
most
the
iconic
fuck?
stores in New York City was Henry Bendel on Fifth Avenue. The brand's colors are brown and white stripes. I don't know if you guys remember Henry Bendel. And
don't
at
know what
one
that shit
point,
is.
a lot of wealthy women would go there to shop.
Really?
It's like a department store, so they have a little bit of everything there. And Liz was working there, assisting a woman.
Oh, no.
And Liz was asking, wait, how do you spell your name? I'm so sorry. It sounds like the French spelling of gasoline. And the woman said, it's Ghislaine. And my boyfriend thinks I'm a lot like gasoline. I'm the gasoline and he's the match. So Liz and the woman, Ghislaine, they start busting out laughing. I mean, I've worked in retail before. These are like the best clients. Sometimes in luxury retail, you have people who take themselves way too seriously and you feel like as the salesperson, you have to walk on pins and needles because they're so prim, they're so proper.
Right.
But then you have someone walk in buying stuff and they're so fun to be around. It is like the best part of your day. And Liz is genuinely having a good time. She feels like she's making a friend. Ghislaine picked out a ton of stuff and requested that Liz drop it off at her hotel nearby later tonight.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it isn't completely unheard of in Manhattan in luxury department stores. So Liz is like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And I'm kind of excited to see her again. Not in the, oh, I can't wait to spend time with her, but more so, at least it'll be fun to drop it off with this client rather than a different client.
Yeah, I see.
So Liz hauls all the bags to the hotel. She gets there. The concierge was expecting her. He escorts her to the dimly lit hotel bar.
Bruh, I pray there's nothing weird happening this time for once. Please, for once.
Where Ghislaine is sitting with a man. This is my friend Jeffrey Epstein. Hello. They had Liz sit down, and she remembers thinking, wow, if Ghislaine is electrifying, Jeffrey's on fire. I mean,
Oh no, I have an idea where this is going. Oh no.
the two of them are just so fun.
Bro.
They're so hilarious, fun, natural to be around. Ghislaine explains, our residence is being renovated, so we're staying here for the time being.
Okay.
Oh, actually, do you mind helping me bring the bags up to our room?
Bruh.
Liz agreed. They went up the elevator, got
Bro.
to the room. Liz came in, and they were still talking as normal. Then all of a sudden, Jeffrey gets up, goes to the restroom, and Ghislaine, without saying anything, goes in after him. And it's just a little bit weird. Liz is just standing there like, okay, I don't know what they're doing. Then they
Bruh, I would leave. Like, I don't want to be here. How am I here? I just want to drop this shit off and go. Guys, why is sometimes, as you can see, I don't like being stuck in cutscenes, especially unskippable ones. This is a nasty cutscene, bro. I just don't trust whatever. I don't trust the possibilities of stuff that can happen of being in these two people's presence. Like,
They come back out in bathrobes.
all right, bro.
And again, it wasn't the craziest thing in the world. I mean, they didn't make it weird. They're still having open conversations
You know,
about casual stuff.
I'm sorry. I don't know where people like how they interact in terms of like their house with their friends and stuff like that. When I'm like over somebody's house and they go to another room and then they come out in bathrobes, to me that signifies, okay, this conversation's over. Y'all about to go to sleep or do some skin slapping. It's my time to go. Y'all were fully dressed. Now y'all in your bathrobes. It's time for me to go. Please, can you let me go? And guess what? they're probably not gonna let her go.
It just seemed like maybe they're turning down for the night.
Yeah, like,
And then out of nowhere, the entire energy of the room shifts. Jeffrey and Ghislaine start making out in front of Liz.
bro, I thought, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I thought she was gonna say Jeffrey just pulled his shit out. I don't trust the possibilities of outcomes with these people.
Intensely.
Ew.
Liz has zero idea on what to do. I mean, does she just say, okay, bye, thank you, and leave? Does she wait it out and hope that they're done in 3 seconds so that she can politely excuse herself? She doesn't even know. She can't even fully run through her options before Ghislaine starts waving at her to join them.
No, the fuck I'm not. Why are rich people so weird? Y'all think this is a movie or something? They better not make a movie about this shit, bro. Well, people would probably watch it. They watch Dahmer. They watch all these other things. I don't even think anybody would want to play these people. That's one thing that I would be like looking at somebody sideways if they played. Who could? I have some ideas. Do you have an idea of who could probably play him? Who doesn't have a moral compass or a seemingly good moral compass? Either way, back to the thing. Yeah, I'm just like, okay. I'm just thinking if I would be in this situation, knowing from my skin color, I would not be in this situation at all. But if like okay, so we're here now. The conversation's over. Oh, y'all are kissing. Oh, y'all are making out. All right, y'all got it. I'm gonna give you guys a room, and by that I mean I'm exiting this room because it's gonna start smelling like sex in here, and I don't want to smell that.
Ghislaine kept narrating what Jeffrey likes, how she pleases him, but Ghislaine's voice was never in this weird, overtly sexual way. It almost sounded like a big sister teaching a younger sister how to braid her hair. It sounded so natural and almost normal.
All he got is a dick and balls. Like what? How else is what? What? Why is she talking about him so much? Like, gosh, I know why she's obsessed with him, but still, damn.
Liz stated the night escalated into full assault, and as soon as she had the opportunity to run away, she ran away.
Oh my goodness.
And Liz left as quickly as possible, ran home. She quit her job at Henry Bendel. She wanted to get as far away from her job, as far away from Ghislaine as possible.
I'm so
she wanted to
sorry.
just get over that night. Like, forget about that night and try to move on from the trauma. A few weeks later, Liz is working at a new high-end retailer. A woman walks in through the door.
Bruh.
I'm looking for Liz.
How the fuck did... Okay, see... I was going to say, now this is when it turns into a horror movie, but the horror movie already started once they started assaulting her. I can imagine, well, I can't imagine to the degree that she has, like, you know, her experience and stuff. But, like, I can imagine how scary it is thinking that you're talking to somebody that is probably, like, probably one of the coolest people that you've ever met. And then hours later, they show you that they are literally Satan. That mind fuck is that, well, first, that mind fuck is just like, just it's just the emotions, bro. Like, I just feel so bad. Like, these people are evil.
It was Ghislaine Maxwell.
How does she know?
For 3 years, Liz tried changing her phone number, her apartment, her job. Ghislaine and Jeffrey always found her.
How?
Because Ghislaine and Jeffrey always get what they want.
How?
There's an interesting quote that's history repeats itself, but in such a cunning disguise that we never detect the resemblance until the damage is done.
That's true.
So I guess it's supposed to mean that history is running on a cycle. We're doing the same things over and over again, and we don't even realize it because it's so cunning. Ghislaine Maxwell seemed to be modeling Island, Little St. Jeff's, after her childhood. Whether this is intentional or subconscious, the similarities between the island and Ghislaine's childhood are eerily creepy. So we briefly went over the island in part 1, but Jeffrey Epstein owned an island in the U.S. Virgin Islands where he would take
Why it glitch like that? Why the fuck it glitch like that?
honestly whoever he wanted. Sometimes he held scientific conventions there where he and 20 of the top physicists in the world, including the likes of Stephen Hawking, would explore the concept of gravity. Other times he would go there with his closest friends. Who's been on that island?
Y'all think Neil deGrasse Tyson would do this? I don't know that man, but I don't put anything above anybody. But I'm just thinking, like, the way that he talks, he would probably be like, no, I don't think I'll be attending. That's if he like declined. But I'm just like, y'all, this nigga Jeffrey Epstein, yo.
Has been hotly debated. Names like Bill Clinton, Naomi Campbell, Stephen Hawking, Prince Andrew, the Obamas, like they've all come up.
Yeah.
Their presence on the island has all been debated. But the locals that were there, they knew that young girls were constantly on that island. They don't know about the Clintons or the Obamas or Naomi Campbell or any of these people, but they nicknamed Epstein's plane as the Lolita Express because every time he would fly in with a plane full of underage girls and they would be barely clothed, just lounging in the sun with Epstein. It's stated by victims that the island is where a lot of the trafficking and the, quote, loaning out to celebrities, CEOs, world leaders happened. Because of how secure it is, the island is controlled by Epstein. It's his own lawless land. You can only get to it by landing his private jet on a nearby bigger island, then taking his helicopter to Little St. Jeff's. Allegedly, Epstein purchased a ton of sea urchins, like the spiky-shelled black balls, to put into the ocean to spread throughout so that nobody could get on or off his island without him knowing about it.
Oh, gosh.
It's basically like being completely deserted on an isolated island.
What the fuck?
There have been allegations of rituals being held on the island where the rich and influential have sacrificed children in exchange for more power.
I ain't gonna hold you. The thing about that, and it's really, really sinister. But I'm thinking, is that why it seems like nobody gives a fuck about children or the youth? Because, or it seems like people in the higher ups really don't give a shit about children. Is that why they don't give a fuck about it? Because there's like some type of secrets that these rich people, not rich people, these rich people be doing and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking like, yo, that's probably why it took so long for these files to come out. Like, imagine, bro, I thought if those files come out without any redacted stuff, like, that would probably be the end of the world. I ain't gonna lie. Because what the actual fuck are they doing? And I'm actually getting kind of scared. Because it's like, oh, we found out the orange man was blowing Bubba. No, it's a lot more than that. Even a lot more than what you could really think of.
Allegations of group intimate relations with world leaders and underage children.
My
It's also
goodness.
alleged that what we know about everything that happened on the island is only tip of the iceberg.
For
It's
real.
stated that a
Like,
big
what
group
the
of Jeffrey
fuck?
Epstein's victims on the island were foreigners, underage foreigners from Eastern Europe that were flown in to be trafficked, abused, and then flown back with threats and fear.
Wow.
It's been corroborated to a degree by another victim from the island that said this was true and that Epstein would joke about how it's perfect because they don't have to listen to the girls talk because nobody understands their language.
That's so
There are
fucked up.
allegations that victims' passports were confiscated on the island and it became a jail. They had lost all ability to say no to anything. They were completely powerless. But the
Bro.
frustrating thing is, we don't know for 100% certain what happened on that island. We know bits and pieces from victims, but the full scale of all the crimes that took place, I don't know if we'll ever know. But I can present you with some of the stuff that we do know.
Okay.
And what we know about this island and how it was run, it seems alarmingly similar to Ghislaine's childhood. So I'm going to try to give you little bits and pieces of both because it's kind of eerie. A lot of this was told in Sarah Ransom's book where she was lured to the island by a friend of hers. She was recruited essentially to the island. She gets there, her passport's taken, she has no way off, and she's being assaulted. It's bad. So growing up, Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine's father, believed that his whole life, women are just there strictly for men's pleasure. I mean,
I'm not surprised.
They're strictly there as objects to be used at his convenience.
Yeah, fuck women actually like birthing you and literally being like what the fuck? Come on, bro. Like, come on, dog. These people be so smart, so wealthy, so I'm able to figure it out, but just say the dumbest shit ever. Like, that's dumb. Like, it's just dumb and just nasty. Fuck.
He would hit on other women in front of his wife. He would hit on those women's daughters in front of that woman
That's
and
not
in front
fly.
of his wife. I mean, women for him were just a good time. That's it. On the island, Sarah remembers Ghislaine was going to be arriving separately from everyone. And Sarah was so nervous and excited to finally meet this woman that every other girl on the island was talking about. Some even called her Mama Bear. One girl told her she's powerful, wealthy, and she knows everybody. Don't cross her. Just stay out of her way and you're going to be fine.
Well, it's kind of hard to stay out of her way when she fucking follows you. Like, shit, she literally followed this lady to a new job. Like,
Just do whatever she tells you to do.
What you mean?
When Ghislaine's helicopter landed, Sarah nervously waved hello when Ghislaine got off because what else are you supposed to do? Ghislaine looked her up and down, walked past her, because to Ghislaine, just like Robert Maxwell, Sarah and these other girls were nothing. They are trash. Growing up, Ghislaine's dad trained her to be some sort of arranger, connector. She was always putting two people together. So when her dad Robert would host parties at the Hill Hall, Ghislaine was expected to bring people she thought would be interesting for her dad, or bring people that would be interesting for her dad's friends.
Imagine you were like, you hold the power to what's the word? The power of like being a good conversationalist, a good matchmaker, a good this, a good that, and you use that skill and power to be a madam to PDFs. It's like so many things you can do in the world, and people who choose that, it's just like, I have no words. I have no words.
I.e., very young woman.
I have
and
no
she
words,
was
bro.
really good at it. Ghislaine would always find the
Really
right
good
people
at
to
it.
connect. She knew how to read people. She knew how to read the room. She knew exactly what people were looking for. Ghislaine would make
Children.
such seamless, smooth introductions between two parties that you would never even know that all of this was masterfully planned and meticulously executed by Ghislaine. She just had a way of making everything, normalizing every single social interaction. On the island, Sarah claimed Ghislaine would wake her up in the middle of the night to go service Epstein.
Bruh.
Even if she told Ghislaine she was bleeding from the assaults from earlier that day, Ghislaine would calm her down and forcibly drag her if she needed to, because her job is to connect the two.
What the
She's there to
fuck?
arrange the meeting between Sarah and Jeffrey Epstein, and she was going to get her job done.
Ew,
Growing up,
bro.
it said Ghislaine developed an ED at just 3 years old. They say
what?
it's one of the main reasons that the Maxwells spoiled Ghislaine more than the rest of the kids. Her parents felt like she was really neglected when she was a baby. So right around the time of Ghislaine's birth, the eldest son of the Maxwell family had slipped into a coma.
Oh,
And a lot of people were just not paying attention to Ghislaine. And it's speculated by Ghislaine's parents that Ghislaine developed a terrible eating disorder at just 3 years old to try
Damn.
and receive some attention.
damn.
On the island, Ghislaine tells Sarah she's too heavy. You being 5'9" and 146 pounds is not to Jeffrey's liking.
5'9", 146. That's normal? No? Isn't that like normal? You know what?
Ghislaine would make sure that all the delicious food that the chef prepared were off limits to Sarah. All the snacks would be locked up. When the rest of the group would sit down to eat, Sarah was given thin slices of cucumber, tomato, and tiny, tiny portions of meat.
What
the
the
other girls would
fuck?
glance at her. And Sarah, she can't leave this island. She's being abused. There's no way out. There's no escape. She's miserable. And now she's being starved. She's taking giant gulps of water in between bites of cucumber to try and fill her stomach.
Oh my god.
Growing up, Ghislaine had these Sunday weekly reviews. Every Sunday during family dinner, the Maxwell kids would be instructed to stand around the dinner table They can't sit down. They would have to stay standing until Father Maxwell would walk in and the room would be silent. Everyone would have their shoulders pushed back, their chest forward, and they would wait for him to sit down at the seat at the head of the table, and he would probably say something along the lines of, "Proceed." The children would have to go one by one, giving a full presentation to Robert Maxwell about what they did this week, what they achieved, and what they hope to achieve next week. If he didn't like their responses, they don't get to sit down. They don't get to eat. He would take off their belt and whip them.
All right, what the fuck? I thought, okay, shit just gets worse. It always gets worse. It always gets worse. It's just like, okay, they have family reviews. Okay, I think that's a nice exercise. Whoa, why are you taking their, but why are you beating them? What are you doing? Wait, why? It's just, it always just gets so worse. My goodness.
And send them up to their rooms where they would have to write him an apology letter after getting whipped.
Bro,
On the
what?
island, Ghislaine would have Sarah stand up at the dinner table and had all the other girls point out all the, quote, fat parts of her body. And she would laugh, "You're enormous. If you didn't eat for an entire month, you'd still be overweight and disgusting." Other days, she would grab Sarah's waist at the dinner table, have Sarah stand up and start poking at her waist.
Bro,
Look
go
how massive
ahead,
you are
fool.
today.
What the
It looks
fuck?
like we need to cut down even on cucumbers.
Nigga.
Ghislaine told her the only acceptable weight for her at that height was 114 pounds, which would actually classify Sarah as underweight. But Ghislaine did not care.
What the fuck?
Growing up, Ghislaine's mom never stepped in to help when the kids were being
Damn, she looked mad as shit in it.
belittled or berated by Robert Maxwell. She
But
took a
mom
very
is-
passive approach. Some would even argue that she let it happen. On the
Yeah.
island, there were a lot of girls that looked at Ghislaine like a mother figure. Shantae was one of those girls.
Shantae.
Shantae came to the island because she thought this was a great opportunity to become a masseuse. She remembered the first time on the island, she felt like she was in a fantasy land. She was a princess. Everyone had their own separate villas that were separated from each other, and the beautiful candlelit dinner. I mean, Shantae went back to her villa and someone had lit a candle in the room, left a book on the nightstand, and had a mosquito net set up around her bed. It's like a dream.
Why? How come every time I see this island, it just looks like barren with structures like placed in the thing. Like, I don't see no villas. I don't see no fly shit. It just looks like, I mean, an island with shit there. Especially that temple. That temple is so eerie.
She remembered the first night she plopped down on her bed thinking, this is going to be the best job in the world. I
Man.
get to travel the world and I just do massages.
I don't know about that.
Incredible. She starts reading her book. She's getting ready to fall asleep when she hears a knock on the door.
Oh, my
It's
fucking
one of
God.
Epstein's assistants. Jeffrey's ready for his massage. Shantae thought it was odd, but she was hired to be a masseuse, and technically it's a private island. Maybe island time works differently. I mean, she tried to convince herself this is completely normal,
Oh,
right?
no,
Because
it's
if you're
not.
hired to be a private masseuse, it's not like you just work business hours. She follows Jeffrey's assistant, goes to his villa. The massage table was all set up and the waves were crashing outside on the rocks. And Shantae kept thinking, well, okay, this is a little uncomfortable, but at least Ghislaine is nearby. Because I don't know if that's his girlfriend or his wife or what, but she's like the mom of the group.
Man.
Shantae waited for Jeffrey, and he burst in with a rope, threw it off, and climbed onto the table. He looked incredibly smug, she said. Then he grabbed her wrists and tugged her toward the bed, pulled her on top of him, and he assaulted her. She stated the more she struggled, the more fun he was having.
Oh,
when he was done, he
no.
just jumped up, left her there, hopped into the shower. Shantae said she was so traumatized, she got up, threw on her shorts, ran all the way back to her villa without her shoes, cutting up completely. The whole bottom of her feet was all bloody, and she cried herself to sleep.
My God.
And she kept thinking, there were so many people. Ghislaine was there. She was nearby. She knew Ghislaine heard her scream. And
Yeah.
Ghislaine did nothing. There were
fuck?
70 staff members on that island. How did they not see anything? I mean, Ghislaine warned the employees that there would be a lot of women around. She explained it to the employees as, they're going to be bees around the honey pot. But I'm queen bee. Always remember that. And it was impossible to forget. Ghislaine was a demanding bee. There were about 70 staff members on the private island alone. Some of them called her Hurricane Ghislaine. They said whenever she got to the island, all tranquility, all peacefulness, gone out the door.
Bro.
And her way with staff was to treat them, quote, like the help. I mean, she was ruthless.
Okay, that's Okay.
Workers there were explicitly told not to be seen unless requested, and they weren't allowed in most buildings where the abuse was taking place. So many victims stated it's perfectly understandable that some of the staff didn't even know what was going on. But they say a photo is worth 1,000 words.
What you mean?
And there is a painting of Bill Clinton that was saying a lot. There was a painting of Bill Clinton hung in Jeffrey Epstein's New York City mansion. It's of Bill Clinton in a blue dress and red heels. Former President Clinton is sitting, dangling his legs off the side of an armchair and pointing at you or whoever's looking at this painting. And
he ain't pointing at me. Get that fucking finger out my face.
he's smiling in almost like this coquettish manner. Some people have interpreted
You look like a South Park character.
this painting to be the one that pokes at Bill Clinton's affair with Monica Lewinsky, because Monica Lewinsky is the woman that Bill Clinton had an affair with while he was president of the United States. Side note, the power imbalance there is like a whole other story for another day. But she wore a iconic blue dress that was stained with the president's bodily fluids after an intimate incident that they had. She wore the blue dress for the rest of her day working as an intern in the White House because she thought it was spinach dip that she had spilt on her dress.
Girl, that's cum. There ain't no damn spinach dip, and that got a nasty smell. Oh, no. Oh, my.
It was not spinach dip.
Ugh.
I mean, I guess it could be argued that it's the blue dress Hillary Clinton wore to the 2009 Kennedy Center honors. It's not, but it could be. I guess art is about who interprets it. And the interpretation that the internet had of this painting being hung in Jeffrey Epstein's New York City estate was he was sending a message. Because if he knows Bill Clinton personally and still purchased this piece of art and hung it up, it almost felt like he was outwardly telling people, I have stuff on Bill Clinton.
Oh, shit.
I have stuff on everyone. I can make fun at former presidents because what are they going to do to me?
Ew.
Jeffrey Epstein was also known to keep a collection of photos of very powerful people that he had ties to, allegedly. He had a wall of photos that included Woody Allen, Bill Clinton, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, Pope John Paul II, and Cuba's Fidel Castro. Now, just to preface and disclaim, just because there are pictures of them on his walls doesn't mean they were in any way friendly with one another or even met each other, or even if they did, that still does not explicitly imply guilt of any sort of crime or even morally corrupt action. So, don't kill me.
Okay. Got you. Has Bill Clinton seen this? Like, has he seen? I'm sure he's seen that picture. Like, imagine walking into a nigga house and there's a picture of you just there in a blue dress pointing at you. This nigga, these people are just mind fucking everything and everybody.
Honestly, I should just leave it there. But I will say, a lot of the photographs included individuals who had scandals of their own. So it's just very interesting.
Ooh.
But more damning in Jeffrey Epstein's photo collection were photos of young girls in small bikinis or naked girls pictured on the beach.
Oh my
There were
gosh.
several photos of various girls engaging in group activities with one another and with Epstein. There's a crudely drawn picture of a baby and a skull, as well as a real photo of a girl that appears to be around 6 years old, wearing a short dress, bending over and exposing her back.
Hey, cuz, what the fuck? Bro.
But that's not even the picture that brought this case to the forefront of all the international news.
What is the picture?
Instead, it was a picture of 17-year-old
Oh.
Virginia Giuffre wearing a tank top, a pair of jeans. There's Ghislaine Maxwell standing in the back, and Prince Andrew of the British royal family with his arm on 17-year-old Virginia's bare waist. There is a room in Florida where there are so many valuables in this room. Crystals, chandeliers, museum-level statues. But if you really want to rob the place, because, I don't know, you have a wish to be imprisoned, I don't advise anyone to do that. But if you must, they say you should peel off the walls. Not for the artwork that's hanging there, but the room is plastered with $7 million worth of gold leaf. Or if you think that's way too complicated, just steal a bathroom sink or two, because there are gold-plated sinks worth over $100,000 per sink.
Niggas have robbed the Louvre before they robbed this place.
It is the 20,000 square foot ballroom
My
in
gosh.
Mar-a-Lago.
Damn. Fuck. Shit is bright as hell.
Former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach. Did you know they charge $200,000 for your initiation fee? It's a one-time payment that you don't get back. There's also an annual fee of about $16,000 that you have to pay. But even if you have the money and you want to spend it at Mar-a-Lago, you can't.
What?
They have a 500-member cap, and each applicant must be vetted and referred by a current member, and then Trump himself will sign every single approved applicant. Jeffrey Epstein was banned indefinitely from Mar-a-Lago.
Shit.
He wasn't even a member and he got banned.
I feel like that sounds more impressive than
Being a member.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that nigga says he ain't know him. Or they weren't friends or whatever the fuck he be saying.
Allegedly, Ghislaine was the one who knew Trump, not Epstein. And through Epstein's connection with Ghislaine, Epstein started visiting Mar-a-Lago, even though he's not a member. I don't know if that's against the club rules. I don't know if the rich are allowed to break club rules, but it seemed like Trump didn't really care. Until one day, he gets a call from a very angry member.
Oh.
He states that his young daughter was laying out by the pool when a man approached her, giving her some sort of reason on why she needed to go to his mansion.
Oh,
and she
shit.
went, probably assuming everyone at the club was at least familiar with her family, maybe a family friend. It'd probably be safe. So she went, and he tried to convince her to get naked. So she ran out of there, called her dad, who immediately directly called Trump, very upset about what transpired.
Yeah.
And Epstein was banned from ever stepping foot on Mar-a-Lago ever again.
That is a crazy, crazy story.
Wow.
But Ghislaine wasn't. Virginia said the same thing happened to her, but she didn't have rich parents to call Trump. Virginia was a changing room assistant at Mar-a-Lago, making $9 an hour. Her dad worked there as a maintenance manager. One day, Virginia found her dad at work, and she was excitedly telling him about this new opportunity that she had. One of the very wealthy members had asked her if she wanted to work for her and earn a massage therapist license. I mean, it seemed perfect because she would probably pay more than the club, and Virginia would get a license from it, meaning it would only open more doors for her future. Virginia was so excited, and her dad wanted to support her, so after work, he personally drove her. Her dad personally drove her to Epstein's Palm Beach mansion.
That's
where
crazy.
Ghislaine met with the both of them in the driveway.
Oh, that's insane. Oh. Holy shit, bro.
Ghislaine reassured Virginia's dad that they would have Virginia home safe and sound later tonight.
That's
So
crazy.
he could just get home and rest. He trusted them. They're members of the club. So Virginia's dad left. Virginia was escorted upstairs with Ghislaine. She's 16, 17 at the time. She has zero experience with massages. She's never even gotten a massage at this point, so she has no idea how it works. She goes upstairs, the door swings open, and she's shocked. Jeffrey Epstein is laying there naked on the table.
Ew.
Virginia is like contemplating running out, but she reasons with herself, because our brains are incredible at reasoning with ourselves, that maybe this is normal. Like maybe you just put a towel over, right? But then Ghislaine starts taking off her shirt and starts
Alright,
rubbing her bare chest
bro.
on Jeffrey Epstein's body with massage oils,
Ew.
implying to Virginia and stating that this is what she needs to do. They coerced Virginia into taking off her clothes. She just did as she was told. I mean, she didn't know what else to do. That was the very first time the two of them assaulted Virginia Giuffre.
Wow.
Virginia Giuffre would be one of the key victims to take down the trafficking ring. Even the newest court document releases, those
Rest
were
in
from
peace.
Virginia Giuffre's defamation lawsuit against Ghislaine. But unfortunately, that also means that Virginia Giuffre would endure some of the worst, most extensive, and traumatizing acts committed by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Virginia
Fuck.
stated that she was essentially loaned out to basically service all the other high-powered friends that Epstein and Maxwell had. Virginia said, "I was trained to be everything a man wanted me to be. It wasn't just sexual training. They wanted me to be able to cater to all the needs of the men they were going to send me to. They said that they loved that I was very compliant and knew how to keep my mouth shut about what they expected me to do." Epstein and Ghislaine also told me that they wanted me to produce information for them, in addition to performing sex on the men. They told me to pay attention to the details about the men so that I could report back to them. Virginia stated that she was terrified. She said she couldn't leave or speak up sooner because he could have had me killed or abducted, and I knew he was capable of that if I didn't obey him.
Gosh.
She said, "I realized that my only purpose for Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and their friends was to be used for sex."
Rest in
Virginia
peace,
stated
Virginia.
that she was working with them, and Jeffrey had sex with underage girls on a daily basis. She said his interest in this kind of sex was obvious to the people around him. The activities were so obvious and bold that anyone spending any significant time at any one of Jeffrey Epstein's residences would have clearly been aware of what was going on.
So it's just like everybody was just cool with this nigga being a PDF file. And that's probably one of the reasons why we are side-eyeing anybody who is on them logs, bro, or them joints. Cause it's like, if you were there and you know, then that means you knew. Like, what?
In a deposition, Virginia stated, in addition to constantly finding underage girls to satisfy their personal desires, Jeffrey Epstein...
Every day! Every day! Every freaking day!
And Ghislaine Maxwell also got girls for Jeffrey Epstein's friends and acquaintances. Jeffrey Epstein specifically told me that the reason for him doing this was that they would, quote, owe him, that they would, quote, be in his pocket, and he would, quote, have something on them. I understood that Jeffrey Epstein thought he could get leniency if he was ever caught doing anything illegal, or he could escape trouble altogether. Virginia would come forward with allegations that she was essayed by Prince Andrew 3 times, once in London, once in New York City, and another once in a group activity session on the island. Virginia stated, quote, I knew he was a member of the British royal family, but I just called him Andy. I got news from Ghislaine Maxwell that I would be meeting a prince later that day. Jeffrey Epstein told me I was meeting a major prince. Jeffrey Epstein told me to exceed everything I had been taught. He emphasized whatever Prince Andrew wanted, I was to make sure he got.
Ew.
Prince Andrew would state that he has no recollection of meeting this lady, even though there's
Nigga, it's a fucking picture. That's literally y'all in 4K. The flash is right there.
When she was 17. But
Like,
he said,
what?
no to all of it. That's what Prince Andrew said in an interview about the allegations. He also argued that the photo of him in Virginia must be edited because those are his traveling clothes that he's wearing. But it stated that the picture was taken in London, which to him doesn't make sense because he only travels in his traveling clothes. Prince Andrew also states that men always remember every single time they have intimate relations because it's a positive experience. So the fact that he cannot remember intimate relations with Virginia basically means that it didn't happen.
What?
In the end, Prince Andrew settled out of court, and it's rumored
This nigga really said that.
that Virginia Giuffre was given more than $12 million, which I believe she's putting into a charity that she's started.
That's what's
But
up.
even with the settlement, Prince Andrew has denied all allegations. Soon after the settlement, the Queen stripped him of all of his royal titles, which was incredibly significant because it is alleged that Prince Andrew was Queen Elizabeth's favorite son. Virginia Giuffre said, cages come in many forms, and I can tell you my cage might have been a golden cage, but it was a cage nonetheless. I was very alone and there was no way out.
Rest in
It's
peace,
speculated that humans evolved to be able to sense when others are looking at us and watching us. Everyone at the Daily Mirror, Ghislaine's dad's company, knew that Robert Maxwell was watching them. He would bug the executives' phones. It was known that people at the Daily Mirror would have meetings where they just wrote down their thoughts rather than saying it because
That's
everyone
crazy.
knew that Robert Maxwell was listening to them.
Bro.
Even at home, Robert Maxwell would hide recording devices into antique lamps because he wanted to hear everything his family was saying about him at all times. Jeffrey Epstein allegedly did the same thing. Sarah Ransom states that every inch of his properties, including the island, was monitored with cameras, every single inch. Robert Maxwell watched Ghislaine and everybody else in his life. Ghislaine and Jeffrey watched all their victims.
That's crazy.
But someone was watching Jeffrey.
Who?
And I think he knew it.
Who?
He had a new addition to his art collection, a photorealistic painting he personally commissioned that depicted a prison scene with him in the middle of barbed wires and guards. This is after he got out of prison the first time. So he gets a photo commissioned, like a painting commissioned of him in prison.
The hell?
And he told a friend about the painting and he said,
What?
that's me. I want this painting so that I am always remembering the possibility that that could be me again. Like I could always go back to prison.
Why not stop doing what you're doing? You ever thought of that? Why don't that remind you to stop doing that shit?
Which is objectively, I guess, a smart reminder. But the problem is, Jeffrey got too comfortable and forgot that people are watching him. July 8th, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested for conspiracy to commit trafficking and trafficking of underage girls in New York State. It's likely he didn't know that he was being watched or investigated or studied because he got aboard his private jet, flew in from Paris, landed in New Jersey where he was greeted by a fleet of cars, the FBI and NYPD.
Now the FBI.
The minute he stepped on American soil, he was arrested and placed in handcuffs. How did he not know that they were watching him? If he knew, he probably would have stayed in France or fled somewhere else.
Probably didn't give a fuck.
He had the means, he had the money. The authorities would later find fake passports in his New York City townhouse safe. I'm sure he had more. By all accounts, Jeffrey Epstein seemed genuinely surprised that he was arrested a second time, 10 years after his first arrest. Even after his first arrest, Epstein told the New York Post, "I'm not a sexual predator. I'm an offender. It's the difference between a murderer and a person who steals a bagel."
Yeah, he definitely does not have the skills Ghislaine does. The fuck does that mean? What?
He's saying he just stole a bagel. That's it.
He just stole a bagel.
But now, 10 years later, just like the Maxwell empire, the Epstein empire was going to crumble down in disgrace.
Good.
And everything that Ghislaine had worked for the past 10 years was gone, down the drain.
Again.
Yeah, sure. This trafficking ring, yeah, okay, that's down the drain. But additionally, Ghislaine kept herself very, very busy after Jeffrey's first arrest in 2008, 10 years ago, okay? She wanted to completely reinvent herself to be a new woman, the water woman. Side note, Jeffrey and Ghislaine were very much close after his first arrest. It didn't seem like anything ever really changed. People said that Ghislaine was still organizing and planning all of Epstein's massages, even after he got out of prison. But she also created a network, like a method where girls would recruit other girls, and she would just kind of sit at the top to make sure everything was going accordingly. Ghislaine was reinventing herself after Jeffrey Epstein came out of prison the first time. She started her own nonprofit called Terra Mar in 2012. She said it was her project for humanity. The focus was on cleaning up the 8 million metric tons of plastic debris, the garbage that's dumped into the world's oceans every year.
What about the girls that you had sent to Jeffrey Epstein every day? What about that? You just think people just gonna forget that? People was watching your mans, and you was always there. You don't think you finna get spoken to too? We finna get you too.
So she would host these TED Talks where she asked, "Is anybody here staying awake at night because they're frightened about the ocean? Are you scared about what could happen? Are you trying to think about what you could do that would help the ocean and all its myriad of troubles?"
Girl.
She would invite her friends over, and instead of talking about writing a book now to get Jeffrey to marry her or throw tea parties in her undergarments, Ghislaine was now spending all her time at dinner parties talking about saving the ocean, the deep sea, and all the animals that live there that need saving. It's like she was trying to tie herself to a bigger picture, a big cause that was more than, why is Epstein obsessed with massages?
Yeah.
But some people who knew her said, she could not care less about the ocean, okay? At a conference in South Carolina, she was busy talking to everybody that would listen about Terra Mar. She sounded really passionate. So there was one filmmaker who had no idea anything about Ghislaine Maxwell's life, and he was convinced by her excitement to change the planet. So he offered to help her shoot this promotional video that would encourage viewers to sign a petition.
Wow.
They planned out the whole video, and just to make sure that he knew what was going on and what color she was going to wear, he asked her, "Wait, what are you going to wear?" And she's like, "Oh, the Terra Mar shirt that I plan on releasing." "Okay, yeah, that's perfect. But you should see me in my full leather outfit with weapons."
I'm sorry?
He was like, "That's
What?
so strange. That happened out of nowhere." And she's like, "You know Laura Croft from Tomb Raider? I'm
Yeah.
the real life version of her."
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, the fuck you're not.
He said it was incredible.
Why is she always doing something weird, bro? Like, what? Oh, my gosh. Like, what the fuck? Like, she got this haha, I'm so funny type vibe, bro. Like, what are you Like, yo, we're trying to get you ready for your shit. And you talking about Laura Croft. That has nothing to do with the ocean, dude. Talking about, you should see me in my leather outfit with weapons.
Incredibly sexual, but in a creepy way. Like there was something
fuck?
off about it. It was weird. Anyway,
Gosh.
the next morning they meet up on the beach to shoot the video, and she's wearing the Terra Mar shirt, which looks like the I Heart NYC shirt,
Yeah.
but it's I Heart squiggle squiggle, so like I Heart waves.
Okay.
She paired it with jeans and stilettos on
What?
the sand. Are you here to save the ocean or get some pictures for Instagram? He had no idea. The producer said it was more like a glamour shoot than anything. He said it's like she was trying to reinvent herself with the ocean, but she was the same exact person. And none of us can run away from ourselves.
It's like trying to put perfume on a shit turd. It's still a shit turd. It just smelled a little bit less shitty.
But Ghislaine still tried.
Oh
She
my
would go to
gosh.
the United Nations and give speeches about what we need to do for the oceans.
Girl.
People would even joke with her. You, Maxwell, seem to love it underwater.
Wait, what does that mean?
Yeah, what is that? What
She
the
loves water. Her dad drowned.
Oh man.
Yeah, Ghislaine thought it was hilarious apparently and tipped her head back and laughed.
Okay.
She even went to a fundraiser event in New York City after Epstein's first arrest that was for stopping sex trafficking. She showed up, took a few pictures, and left. The fundraisers were confused why she even came, but also they noted she did not donate a single cent. And her sex trafficking partner in crime was now sitting in prison for the second time, suspiciously dead, just like her dad. Jeffrey Epstein was found suspended in his jail cell. His death was officially deemed a self-exit, but there's even a Wikipedia page called Jeffrey Epstein Isn't Dead. So there's a few camps of people out there. One group that thinks that he self-exited, another group that thinks that he was killed, and one group that thinks that he's not dead at all, that he's alive, and the Jeffrey Epstein in that cell is a lookalike. So let's explore the first theory very briefly.
All right.
The official theory.
Tinfoil hat
Jeffrey
time.
Epstein self-exited. Experts stated that Jeffrey Epstein had no defensive wounds, and just going over his last few days in prison, people said that it was very tumultuous. A few days before Jeffrey's death, it stated that his state was declining very rapidly in regards to his mental health. It was reported that he was agitated, he couldn't properly sleep, the toilet in his unit kept running. So the prison had a toilet overflowing plumbing problem, so the whole place was infested with like feces, urine, infested with rats and cockroaches. He couldn't sleep because the toilet was running all night and he has sleep apnea. So he would allegedly sit in the corner, sleep deprived, rocking back and forth, covering his ears, calling himself a coward. Sometimes he would just crawl up on the floor and try to sleep on the floor. He stopped showering. His beard was unkept. And a few days before his death, he attempted to self-exit. The psychologist stated, inmate has multiple risk factors for self-exiting as identified by BOP statistics. Let's be proactive.
I don't know. I would say his mental health declining is literally just karma. Like, bro, you can't run away from the sins you do in the world.
Jail officials noted in logs that Epstein was, quote, sitting at the edge of his bed, lost in thought, and, quote, sitting with his head against the wall. Another facility assistant emailed the jail official stating Epstein seemed, quote, dazed and withdrawn. She wrote, just to be on the safe side, can someone from psych come and talk to him? He also left a meeting with his attorney to go call his mom.
Okay.
His mom has been dead for 15 years.
Okay.
So it's speculated that perhaps he was losing his grip.
Well,
Others felt like by self-exiting, Epstein was getting the last laugh. I mean, it's like he was saying, screw you, which a lot of people close to him said that it would fit exactly what Epstein would do. He was someone that wanted to have control till the very last end. He wanted to have the final laugh, the final say, the final word. Days before Epstein's death, he was making adjustments in his will that would impact how his assets were going to be handled. He changed it so that his $500 million-ish fortune would go to a trust in the U.S. Virgin Islands, the 1953 trust named after the year he was born, but we have no idea who the benefactors of this trust are.
Oh,
For
shit.
all we know, he could still be paying the people who helped him commit these crimes.
Right now,
Yeah.
nobody
Wow.
knows where his money's at.
bro,
This
what?
was really purposeful because by putting the money in a trust in the U.S. Virgin Islands, it would be really hard for the victims to get money.
Right.
I believe
Oh,
there
see.
is a separate victim fund trust set up in the U.S. from the proceeds of his real estate sales that would go to victims, but still. He wrote to the U.S. gymnastics team doctor that was convicted of abusing athletes?
Yep.
Well, he wrote to him in prison. That letter never got to Larry, and we don't know what he wrote in the letter, but that was like a few weeks before his death. It was just
the hell?
odd. So people speculate, it seems like he self-exited. The next theory is that perhaps he was murdered. Some people think it's a little simpler. Maybe he was murdered by someone in prison, and maybe someone high profile paid someone in prison to do it. Maybe the inmate just didn't like people that abused children.
I mean,
Others stated,
hey.
no, he was murdered by high-profile people. It was a hit job. I don't know, but I do know that the two guards that were sitting 15 feet away from Jeffrey Epstein's prison cell when he was murdered or when he was dead,
They were
they were
sleep-
supposed to do rounds every 30 minutes, but they didn't. They just forged the documents and the records to make it seem like they did, but in reality, they were on their phones online shopping for furniture and motorcycles.
Nigga,
They also fell
what?
asleep for 2 hours. They stated it was because they were overworked due to the lack of staffing. There were only 18 guards in the entire prison that day. That's 12 stories tall
Damn.
and houses close to 800 inmates. One of the two guards was on a 16-hour shift. So that was kind of their excuse of, that's why we didn't realize that he was dead in his cell. But other people thought, maybe that's not why. Maybe it's because you're not supposed to tell us what you saw. Did someone come in and kill Jeffrey Epstein and stage it?
Hey, bruh.
Maybe the guards weren't paying attention. Maybe they were. Jeffrey Epstein did tell a psychologist that he was too much of a coward to self-exit.
You know, I would say, like, the fact that these people, like, live their life like it's a fucking movie, one big fuck you from, like, I guess the universe would probably be like, yeah, your death is, you're not in control of that. Like, it'd probably be some lackluster shit or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I think a big fuck you would like, not have a villain movie ending at all. I don't know what happened. I honestly don't believe he offed himself. Not gonna lie to you. So, I don't know, bro. Shit. People get people beat up in prison at the lowest of lowest scales. So, it's like, not even beat up, killed. Like, so it's just, I'm not ruling that out. Nor do I really care if I'm wrong. I just found out about this dude this year. So, well, this dude and like literally all the things that were happening this year. So I'm just like, bro, I don't know, bro.
And one psychologist wrote that
he still could
Epstein
be
was very
alive.
future-oriented. He explicitly told her, why would you ever think I'm suicidal? I'm not suicidal, and I would never be.
Okay.
It's also stated that Epstein was supposed to be hopeful when he died because his attorneys were on the verge of filing a motion that would argue his non-prosecution agreement in Florida would apply in New York City somehow. So I don't know. There's other arguments where people argue where his ligature marks were on his neck. So people were saying, regardless of his mental health, they believe that the marks on his neck were not consistent with self-exiting. Netizens stated that the marks on his neck were too low. When you're suspended, the marks would naturally be higher up near your ears. They stated that the lines on Epstein's neck were more consistent with someone coming up behind Epstein and strangling him. But I would say most people think that Epstein was killed by someone powerful. After Epstein got out of prison the first time he was arrested, he allegedly joked to his close friends and said, everyone thinks they know me now, but no, I'm the one that has everything on them. It's insinuated that Epstein had blackmail on powerful people. The theory, the conspiracy, the same source does not think that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. They stated that he is way too important to way too many people. There are stories that came out that Jeffrey Epstein had every single guest bedroom and every single property, even the bathrooms, wired with secret hidden cameras. He was able to record very powerful people having sex with underage girls. He had saved all of those tapes and used those to gain his own power and wealth, and that's why nobody knows how he even made his money. A lot of victims stated they never saw him work a day in his life. No business calls, like nothing. It was weird. And nobody really knows how he made his money. Netizens say it aligns with victims coming forward saying that Epstein would tell them to snoop on all these men that they were being abused by and bring him all these salacious, secretive details about them. But then on the other side, you have people saying, but why haven't there been official mention of any of these videos? Or why haven't they been not released, but taken in for evidence and everybody involved would have been arrested?
Probably because remember when I told y'all earlier when I thought like if that gets out, they're gonna press that end of the world button, bro. And also, I saw something like late at night yesterday, saying like Jeffrey Epstein is the owner of started Bitcoin or some shit. These rabbit holes, and I know with this journey that I would like to do, I'm gonna have to like get into these rabbit holes. So please pray for my mental state. But there's a lot about this guy that I didn't even know. Shit, this whole Ghislaine video turned into a Jeffrey Epstein video towards the end.
The conspiracy theorists say, well, because everyone in the videos are too powerful. Not in the sense that they can control the government, but in the sense that if they all go down,
I don't know what that noise was.
the world will see just how corrupt our world leaders are and our industry moguls are, and people will turn from the government. All trust, the social contracts will be broken.
Yeah.
There will be some sort of uprising.
Yeah.
That's the theory by netizens.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be too damaging because it's not just one politician. It might be all of them.
And also, it's like people, quote unquote, already know this, but like once the confirmation comes, I think that's when. Actually, I don't even know if it will be an uprising for real. People are afraid. You know what I'm saying? People are afraid, bro.
There are conspiracy theorists who believe that world order would be absolutely destroyed with the knowledge of these tapes existing getting out. And then you have the theory that he's not really dead. There is an alleged photo of Epstein from his cell, dead, and allegedly the photo doesn't add up with the facial proportions. So his ears and nose don't match his photo when he's alive.
I was not okay.
Side profile. So the alleged photo of him dead shows a much more curved nose at the bottom, at the tip, and the nose bridge is a bit slopier.
Was it angled?
But Jeffrey Epstein's side profile from when he's alive, the nose bridge is a bit straighter and it's a little bit more pointed at the tip. His ear, the alleged photo of him dead, the ear cartilage is a lot spinier and busier. There's more ear cartilage like showing in his ear, and it looks like. But when he's alive, the side profile, it doesn't look like that.
Oh, shit.
So for those reasons, some people believe that
hell?
he's out there living with his $500 million trust, living his best life.
Hey, bro.
So Jeffrey Epstein is dead, and Ghislaine Maxwell is on the run. Ghislaine Maxwell was not arrested. She had multiple citizenship, so she could technically be anywhere. Paris, Brazil, in a bunker, in a submarine. We don't even know how much money she has access to at this point, or even now. So July 2nd, 2022, 11 months after Jeffrey Epstein's death,
got
in
her
a
ass.
tree-lined hill of New Hampshire, like in a cabin, which cabin makes it sound like she's in the woods, being one with nature. This cabin is massive. It's surrounded by endless beautiful pine trees. It's a luxury oasis. There's a giant window that's like 2 stories tall that's letting in all this sunlight. It's secluded. It's isolated. I would imagine
That shit
if I had to
fire.
rent this cabin for a month, it'd be tens of thousands of dollars.
My goodness.
It's a beautiful, luxurious, well-equipped facility.
And they found her in that? How the hell did they?
And it even has an ironic name.
Tucked away.
It's called Tucked Away. Helicopters start
name
flying
sucks.
up above the trees.
Oh, shit.
Authorities and squad cars show up. Officers are hiding behind the tree trunks.
Hey, we got you.
And they know that Ghislaine Maxwell is in there, and they're not leaving until they get her.
How?
So why
did
is she in the U.S.?
We don't know.
Because she dumb. She dumb.
A lot of people speculate that she thought it would just die down. People would just kind of get over
Like
it.
a what? No.
Yeah. This is a little goofy,
No.
but I mean, you have the FBI out there trying to get Ghislaine, and she knows this. She's done for. Like, she still tries to flee. She runs from room to room trying to outrun the FBI. They eventually found her, caught her, and her phone was covered in tinfoil.
Bro, there's no way they were trying to play tag with her. Bro, they was really playing cops and robbers in her house. Again, it's just so weird and silly. What
Because
the?
she thought the aluminum foil would block her cell signal.
Girl.
No way.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
She was arrested at 58 years old, and she was facing 38 years to 50 years in prison.
Those
Now,
fucking
people
eyes,
who knew
bro.
Ghislaine personally said that she was like a shark, a great white shark. A lot of people say that she's a shark that was dealing with a lot, that she was struggling with deep insecurities, probably caused by her dad.
Okay.
I mean, there are theories that she was just looking to find another Robert Maxwell for her life. It's like she was chasing that feeling that she's never enough but wants to keep trying for a man. I think that there's a few ways that people perceive Ghislaine. I mean, especially the ones that were close to her or knew her personally. It seems like there's the ones that believe that Ghislaine was victimized by her father and that she was looking high and low to fill this gaping hole in her life for a father figure. She meets Jeffrey Epstein and she starts just going from this deeply wounded woman to a monster. That Ghislaine was so desperate for the attention and love for these men that she was willing to be a vile, evil being.
It's crazy.
I mean, side note, this is what some acquaintances and a small
I'm gonna just say, bro, please don't do that. Ain't nobody that good to do no shit like that. Ain't nobody in this world that good, that fire, that sexy, that charismatic, that nothing. That no.
group of netizens believe. But just remember,
Fuck.
to be a monster, you have to already have those traits in you.
Exactly.
That's how I feel. But
Probably
those
came from
close
her
to the
dad.
pair said Ghislaine was obsessed with him. Genuinely would do anything for him. When the FBI raided Epstein's house, they found this hard drive that was registered under Ghislaine's name, and it could be inferred that she's the one using it. They found a Microsoft Word document that she was working on, and it read like Ghislaine's writing, but pretending to be someone else.
But
It reads, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell have been together as a couple for the past 11 years. They are, contrary to what people believe, rarely apart. I always see them together. Ghislaine Maxwell is highly intelligent and great company with a ready smile and an infectious laugh. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell share many mutual interests and are a lot of fun together. They both have inquisitive minds. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell complement each other really well, and I cannot imagine one without the other. On top of being great partners, they are always best friends.
I don't get it. What is that?
yeah,
It
what
seems
the
like she was writing it to submit it into some sort of article or newspaper. It's like she was just so obsessed with him.
love
What
that
kind of
nigga
grown woman talks about her relationship, barely their relationship, in third person form?
Yeah.
It's like she's needs to convince people that they love each other.
But like,
Then there are
but
those who
nobody
believe
cares.
that Ghislaine was just a monster. She's just an evil parrot. People said that when she would come into work at her dad's office, because of course she got a job there, she was just when her dad wasn't there, she would just try to copy her dad. She would parrot her dad. She would be incredibly loud and aggressive. It's just she didn't have her own personality, but she was rude. She was evil. She did everything for herself. That's all she cared about at the end of the day was herself. Even what she did for Jeffrey Epstein, all these girls were a means to an end. Just to give you an idea, I mean, the way that Ghislaine treated people, especially the house staff, is insane. I do think that this is kind of crazy. She wrote a 58-page booklet with hundreds of checklist items on how she wanted things done in the residence. She would get infuriated if someone broke the oftentimes completely unreasonable rules. The rules read, in the grooming guest relations section, appearance is extremely important if high standards are to be maintained. A favorable first impression goes a long way. Personal cleanliness, good presentation, and a genuine and polite aim to please approach are very important. Try and anticipate the needs of Mr. Epstein and Miss Maxwell and their guests. Make guests feel pampered and welcome. Do not discuss personal problems with guests. Remember that you see nothing, hear nothing.
Unobtrusive. I don't know what that means. Does that mean like not be in the way?
Say nothing except to answer a question directed at you. Inobtrusive is the key. Wear the appropriate clothing, dark blue trousers with white golf shirts to be worn daily, long sleeve white shirts for dinner service. Items in pockets must not create a bulge or be visible. Do not address Mr. Epstein, Miss Maxwell, and other guests with hands in your pockets. Do not chew gum. Avoid using strong perfume or aftershave lotion. This could cause an allergic reaction. And smile.
That would have pissed me off. That sounds like just such an evil.
Another section is titled Proper Language.
Oh, you do not say, yeah, sure, no problem. You bet. Gotcha, right? I don't know. Like, what?
What you say is as important as what you do. Your language must include good diction and exclude swear words and slang. You do not say, yeah, sure, no problem. You bet. Gotcha. I don't know.
I don't know.
You do say, yes, mister. Of course, miss. My pleasure. It's no trouble at all. You're quite right. I would be very pleased to. I have no idea, but I will find out immediately. To a compliment, you must say, you are very kind. Thank you, miss. I enjoyed doing it. To justified criticism or mistakes, you
They had them talking like Chick-fil-A employees. The fuck? I can't say I don't know. Like, damn.
say, I am very sorry. It will not happen again. It was completely my fault, and I will make the changes immediately. What to say when entering a room? May I come in? Greet whoever is inside the room. You do not expound on weather or any other subject unless asked. You provide your service and then ask, is there anything else I might do for you?
These rules suck.
If not, leave the room. When answering the phone, do not slam the receiver at any time. All calls should be answered within 3 rings or less. It even has very strict rules for Ghislaine Maxwell's breakfast. Maxwell House coffee served with milk, freshly squeezed orange juice, glass of water, 1 Weetabix with sliced banana, milk and sugar on the side. So I guess it's up for you to interpret how you see Ghislaine. I will say, I don't think in any scenario she is the victim. But I guess it's the question of, is she a right-hand woman or is she the mastermind? Did she do what Jeffrey told her to do, or did she plan, execute, and mastermind a trafficking ring for the ultra-wealthy?
I think both. And she has a lot more, hands in this thing, more than people have said, I guess. Like, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like to me. Like you had me at the driving around the city and jumping out the car and giving little girls your number. Like you had me at that. I just, bro.
Ghislaine once said in an interview, "You tell me one person you know and take 20 people who know that person, they're all going to give you different versions of what they think of that person." One victim stated Ghislaine was worse than Jeffrey. She said Ghislaine got off in her own way from these assaults. Ghislaine got off on making those high-powered men happy. She felt validated from it. Before the trial, Ghislaine's attorney made a statement. They said Ghislaine is in a very, very difficult conditions none of us wish on our worst enemies. I've never seen anything like it.
What do you
it's
mean?
The Epstein effect.
What the fuck?
Ghislaine's family have set up a website for her called realghislaine.com. Her brother defended her in an interview and stated, "Imagine yourself arrested and imprisoned in solitary confinement, deprived of bail for 9 months. Whatever your feelings about her allegations, she's entitled to a fair trial, to due process. My brothers and sisters and I will never stop fighting for Ghislaine."
All right, well, y'all, as long as y'all feel happy, whatever floats your raft, buddy. Whatever floats your raft.
The trial itself was very messy, mainly on the
shit.
defense part. Ghislaine's defense attorneys just kept trying to insinuate that it's unfair that a woman is taking the fall for a man.
She helped. She was the brains behind this stuff.
In their literal opening statements, they said, "Ever since Eve was tempting Adam with the apple, women have been blamed for the bad behavior."
That's not how that went. She didn't tempt him. He was with her. Y'all niggas not read the Bible? What about
Behavior of men.
What?
The charges against Ghislaine Maxwell are for things that Jeffrey Epstein did, but she is not Jeffrey Epstein. She is not like Jeffrey Epstein. A victim testified about her abuse that started when she was 14, but now she has overcome her trauma and became an actress. The defense attorneys were like, "You're an actress?
an actress?
Well, can you cry on command?
Oh.
How do we know you're not crying on command right now? How do we know that you're not acting right now?" Other times, the defense tried to use the fact that a lot of the victims grew up to battle addiction and face other obstacles in life. They just kind of threw it in their face, like, "How can we trust you if you do drugs?"
What?
It was a lot. And side note, addiction is a whole other topic, but many of the victims stated that they fell into drugs to cope with their trauma.
Yeah.
So it just felt like a very gross thing to use against them.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Another victim, Annie, who is Maria's sister, she testified, and the defense tried to argue that Annie was not traumatized by her abuse because she wore cowboy boots. Okay, I'm obviously summarizing, but essentially, Annie was gifted a pair of cowboy boots from Ghislaine and Jeffrey. She stopped wearing them once she escaped them, but every time she would look and see them in her closet, she felt this pain. And she thought, you know what? No, I'm going to reclaim it. It's just a pair of shoes. It was part of her overcoming her trauma. So
Right.
she starts wearing the cowboy boots again, and the defense brought in her cowboy boots, showed the wear and tear, and insinuated that if Annie was actually distraught about what happened and traumatized, she would throw the boots away and she would never be able to even wear them.
What are you?
The defense also tried to use the fact that some of the victims testifying were awarded anywhere between $2 to $5 million in the victim compensation program as a way to show that the victims were just money hungry and that they
What?
would say anything to get money out of the fund.
See, cause you gotta be so just a fucked up individual to hear this, to hear the stories, and just know that they have been groomed or just literally assaulted. Like, bro, no, they weren't money hungry. They they thought they were going to a Victoria's Secret shoot. They like what? The person who was probably a little money hungry was maybe Ghislaine. These ladies were not money hungry. They were tricked. They were literally tricked and then got traumatized by this old pasty white man. And your client. And all the other people that, like, what?
There's a lot of victim
The
blaming,
fuck?
a lot, which is in a way expected in our justice system,
that's
but also
crazy.
not. And it's infuriating because, you know, it's what is going on? Why are we still doing this?
And also, it's just like, yo, you talking about she not really traumatized because she wearing the cowboy boots. Okay, Mr. One Track Mind. What about the other side of her trying to reclaim that? No. We got the cowboy boots. Look at them. They're ripped in the side. She wasn't abused. She was wearing these boots with pride. Like, y'all niggas go to the bar for this type of performance? Man.
And side note, when Ghislaine was asked if she would testify or not at her own trial, usually the defendant on trial will answer just a simple yes or no. But Ghislaine responded to the judge, "Your Honor, the government has not proven their case beyond a reasonable doubt, so there is no need for me to testify."
You a doo-doo head. And that's why your ass in jail.
In the end, December 29th, 2021, just a few days after Ghislaine's 60th birthday, Ghislaine was born on Christmas.
Oh, wow.
The verdict came through, and Ghislaine was found guilty of 5 of the 6 charges.
Guilty.
Ghislaine was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Her attorneys will be appealing, and Ghislaine states that she too is a victim of Jeffrey Epstein and was manipulated by him.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
She also states that when she gets out of prison, her life goal is to help others that have been incarcerated.
You're gonna be 80 when you get out. Unless you get out for good behavior. When you 80, you gonna be helping people? You probably won't even be able to help yourself.
So that's like Terramar 2.0.
Oh,
Ghislaine
gosh.
also stated that she wishes that she never met Jeffrey Epstein, had no idea how evil he was. And according to one source, Ghislaine is writing a book in prison. The source states that Ghislaine doesn't think that she's done anything wrong, and that once people read her book and they know her true story, she will be freed.
I can't read. I'm not reading that. I don't give a fuck. No, nigga, no. No more books for you. The last time you tried to do a book, your ass was talking about his fucking Johnson. You don't need to be doing no more books. Because we don't even know what's going to be in. You don't know what's going to be in that book. Shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The source also
it's
states
crazy,
that
crazy,
Ghislaine is
crazy.
very upset that she, a woman, is the only one facing consequences.
He was, while you was doing your Terramana project, he was literally in jail. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Ghislaine is also adamant that the picture of Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre when she was 17 was forged. It's a fake edited photo, so it's wild. She also has zero proof. She just says, "I don't know exactly how many points there are, but there are over 50 problems with that picture." So
Yeah, the problem with the picture is that you're just in the side like that. That's the only problem. Like you're fucking up the focal point of the picture. And I'm saying that as if like there wasn't an underage girl there. What's actually wrong with the picture is that Prince fucking Andrew is with this underage girl, and you're just like what are we talking about? What are you talking about? Gosh, fucking old hag.
I don't believe
Jeez.
it to be a true picture. I will say the FBI had it in their possession and never brought up any suspicions that it was altered. So hopefully Ghislaine will spend a very long time in prison. But there are still a lot of unanswered questions with this case. Like one victim stated during the trial that she saw a picture of Ghislaine Maxwell nude and pregnant in Jeffrey Epstein's house.
Oh my gosh. They was about to have another one of them. Them together was finna have progeny.
There have been no further details. Ghislaine is not known to be a mother. Could she have a child somewhere out there? Could
Bro,
that be the
what?
beneficiary to the trust?
What?
I really can't tell you.
Bro,
I mean,
what?
the theories just keep going on this case. They're endless. But I will say the victims who have come forward to go up against people like Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, they are the ones with the true power. They are incredibly brave and admirable.
Hell
And
yes.
just to give you an idea, in the 58-page rule book for the house staff, a page reads, "Preparations checklist for master bedroom. Set air conditioning at 60 degrees. 2 lighted pens on both bedside tables. Jeffrey Epstein's large and small notepads on both bedside tables. Box of tissues on each bedside table. Replace if less than 1/3 full. Gun, placed in bedside table drawer.
Oh.
And that
What?
is the full case
Girl, you
of
just go-
Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
All right,
I mean,
bro.
there's a lot
I'm-
more online if you're interested, but these are just what we know of them from online sources, those acquaintances, anonymous sources that have come forward. And I don't know, it's just more messier than I thought it would ever be. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for the next episode.
Okay. So yeah, she finna be in there for a while. She hell yeah, girl. The fuck. I'm just trying to figure, like, just the fact that this whole thing is still ongoing, even with the files being like, was it 30,000 pages of files being released, and we don't even know if those are everything that's in there. Just the fact that this shit is still going is crazy and still scary. Scary as fuck. But this lady, this a crazy lady, man. I ain't gonna lie. She crazy. She cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man. She in there thinking that she ain't do nothing wrong. Like, what? What? I just don't understand. One, I just don't understand rich people. Two, I don't understand evil people. And I sure as hell don't understand Ghislaine Maxwell. I sure as hell don't understand Jeffrey Epstein. Or any of these people. Like, what the hell? And that's still the tip of the iceberg. How big is this damn iceberg? The fuck? What do you guys think? I think this is scary. Very disgusting. And again, rest in peace to Virginia, bro. Like, yo. Like, they really ruined countless people's lives, bro. Just like, for what? Just because you're a sick fuck? All to be a sick fuck and have money and power and blackmail more people with power who have power. Niggas ain't got nothing better to do. Y'all could have learned an actual skill. Learn how to shoot a basketball or some shit. Y'all don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. Please don't do this. What the hell? Leave these children alone. Guys.